Are you guys ready to get this party started? Are you guys ready to nail your niche? Get some clarity, have some breakthroughs? I hope you guys are open to that. I hope you're open to me challenging a lot of the ways you think about things, because that's kind of what I do. And I do it to support you. So we can hold on, to like what we think is the way things are supposed to be. But that's just going to make things a lot harder for us, isn't it? Because the truth is that the only knowledge is knowledge that comes from experience. And so unless you've made like hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars from your niche, then we don't know how to nail our niche, do we? Unless we've had the experience of actually doing it, we don't know how to do it. Like, you could read a book on how to swim.
Yeah, I have audio.
Hey guys, all right, well, gosh darn it. All right, so I thought that wouldn't be an issue. So this will be, so you guys, we have a setting that when you come on, you're muted. So if you're unmuting yourself, we have, this is where I get to be a jerk. We have a no tolerance policy for just randomly unmuting yourself. So the first time I just embarrass you in front of everybody, and then the next time we just remove you. So you guys have to be really mindful that you're not just accidentally unmuting yourself, because we have a lot to cover. And usually it's the people that are muting themselves that are like doing something else. So we get to hear everything that you're doing in the background, like pooping and stuff. So don't do that, please. We'll just boot you. Yes, I said pooping. So now I forgot where I was. So you could read a book. You could read a book and on how to swim, and never having been in a pool or the ocean or a lake, and with reading that book cover to cover, have you knowing how to swim? No. You would know some concepts and stuff. You'd have a better idea, but you don't know how to swim until you're in the water swimming. Does that make sense? You guys get that? Cool. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to go over today. And, the truth is that we don't, and yes, I get notorious for, long calls. So we'll probably do a break in the middle. But we don't have to do all of this. I could just say, hey, go pick your niche and get out there and start helping people. We don't have to spend 3, 4, 5 hours going through it, And so what we're going to do is be looking at what's really preventing us from just going after that thing that we know in our heart we're here to do, and just doing it. Like all the stuff that's getting in the way. So, maybe some of us will nail our niche within a few minutes. Some may take a little bit longer. It takes as long as it takes, but I'm here to facilitate and support you guys on here with this. So let me ask you guys first, who has already gone through any of the recordings or trainings from last year? Type in a 1 or a Y in the chat box if you've gone through any of it. Woo, you guys are awesome. Cool. I know a lot of people just signed up yesterday, so there's like, no, there's no way I could have. Okay, so look, here's the thing. For people that have gone through some of it, all of it, none of it, whatever. First of all, there is a great meditation in there for you guys. I'd highly recommend going through that. Absolutely. This is very similar content. There's changes, there's different, there's new, there's things I've taken out. So, don't be that type of person that's like, he already said this in the recording. Yeah, it's the same training. I don't need to make a different training for the same promise and outcome. But sometimes we need to hear something a second time, don't we? Sometimes we need to hear it again until it clicks. How many of you have read a book a second time and you gained more the second time that you didn't even notice the first time, right? So I have to assume you're here because you want to nail your niche, and you'd only want to nail your niche if you haven't nailed your niche. So there's something here for you. I can guarantee you that. Okay. So I will ask for you, even if you've like, oh, I've heard him talk about this bit before, to really pay attention and really keep an eye out or an ear out for something you haven't heard yet. That's something that maybe your brain deleted from your conscious awareness, because that happens all the time. Okay. So I'm going to keep my little chat box up over in the corner so I can see as much of what you're talking about, what you're chatting about here. And we're going to get, well, it might not work, but because it covers my text, but here we go. Let's get into this. So much to cover. First of all, obviously the intention is to identify your niche. What does that mean? It's who do you serve and how do you serve them specifically? So really by the end of this, you want to be able to answer any 2 to 4 of these questions with clarity and confidence and certainty. Who specifically do you serve? By serve, I mean, who do you help? Who are your customers? What is the specific problem that you solve for them? In what specific way do you serve them or help them? And why you? Why you? Even if you can answer 2 of these questions, you're rocking and rolling, right? So that's really the intention today. Okay. Now here's the thing. You don't have to nail your niche. Right? Hey guys. Who is unmuted? Already happening. All right. Please, you guys. It'll just slow things down. Okay. I want to be really clear. You don't have to niche down. You don't have to. It's just make things harder. In other words, niching down, getting more specific will make things easier for you. So I don't know about you, but I love making things easier. A lot of people, when they get into this, they want to make things more complicated and they create more work for themselves. They're operating from this old paradigm that you have to work harder to be successful. And then they make and create their lives to be harder and more complicated than they need to be. So why is it more simple and easy for you when you niche down? Easy. If you sat down in a coffee shop right now and you talked to the most ideal, perfect customer as a stranger, as a brand new person, you could have a pretty powerful conversation with that individual, couldn't you? They would ask you a question, you would answer it. You wouldn't sit there and say, hold on, let me get a script. Let me have the perfect response and let me spend hours trying to write an answer for you. You just answer, you just talk to them. Talking to one person is very easy. Where you're going to get tripped up is the moment you take your business online and you start to have a conversation of one to many. That's where it gets challenging. And so niching down is really as simple as saying, when all of my copy, all of my messaging, all of my content, whether I write, record a video, go live, do a webinar, do whatever, is talking to one person. And when I can talk to that one person, I can be more specific, I can be more clear, it's gonna flow, it's gonna be simple, it's gonna be easy, and it's gonna click. And on the other end, that person is gonna sit there and say, holy but Jesus, they're talking just to me. This was made just for me. They're in my head. This person's in my head. How did you do that? It's like you can read my mind, right? But when you're trying to be all things to everyone, you end up being nothing to no one, right? You end up getting broad, general, confusing, right? And that's really hard. It's really hard to write to 10 different people versus just one person, one at a time. So you don't have to do any of this. You really don't. But I do want you to make your life and your business a little bit more easier today, okay? So that's kind of my disclaimer there. I am going to get rid of the questions for a second because it kind of will block my slides and whatnot. So let me ask you this, and I want to hear from you guys in the chat box. What would niching down give you? What does it give you? Like, you're here, you paid money to be here. If we just wave the magic wand and have you be like, boom, got it. What does that now give you? Okay, so go ahead, type it out for me. Let me know. Now, a lot of you guys are saying focus and clarity. What does focus give you? What does clarity give you? What does planning your day give you? What does confidence give you? What does guidance give you? It's good. Thank you. I'm just kind of reading through those. So here's some things that I know that it will give you. First of all, it's going to create specialization. In other words, you're going to start to be perceived as a specialist, right? And when you are perceived as someone who is specialized in an area, that immediately creates authority, doesn't it? Right? Like you want to go to the specialist. You know, you got an issue with your house. I'm going to have a lot of house metaphors for you guys today because we're doing all these Airbnb and home improvements and stuff. Let's say you've got like a serious plumbing issue and you're like leaking water. Do you go to a general handyman or do you go to the plumber, right? You have a, you know, an issue with a pipe. You go to the Roto-Rooter guy who specializes in that, or do you just, you know, any Joe Schmo on Craigslist? It's like, oh yeah, I've done that before. I could do that. I think I can figure that out. Or do you go to the person that has specialized in that one thing? You see, the brain, in an effort to conserve calories, because the brain, you know, thinking takes a lot of energy, wants to just look for the person that's the best. It wants to look for the person that's specialized. If you had, heaven forbid, a health problem, you know, like let's say you have a heart complication, you know, you have a brain issue. Do you go to your general practitioner or do you go to the brain surgeon? Do you look out for the world or the country's #1 heart surgeon, right? So when you specialize, you immediately create more authority. You position yourself as more authority. And like I said before, it becomes easier to write copy. And yes, you guys, a lot of you said focus. It's become so much easier to focus on what to do next. And most importantly, and this is what inspired all of this training a year ago, is you get to just move on. Like this becomes such a sticking point for so long. Let me ask you guys this. How many of you, and just be honest with me, and this isn't a competition, there's nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed about, because for me, I probably got most of you guys beat. I struggled with this for 4 years. How long have you been trying to figure out your niche? So you got 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 18 months. 10, did I see 10? 3, 2, 4 years, 13 months, 4 years, 3, 2, 3 to 5, 14 years. That's a long time. And if you've struggled and don't know your niche, have you still been able to be, you know, financially successful? Like, are you making a ton of money not knowing your niche? Yeah. So really what it will give you is more money. Like everyone just skirts around issues of money and stuff like that. But like, do you see that nailing your niche is going to give you the possibility for making more money? Not knowing your niche hasn't given you that possibility, right? So making more sales. People are going to be like, I know how she can help me. And that's what I want. So really good, because it's also about helping people. Today, money drove me and was really motivating for me to start my business, but it's not what motivates me today. By the way, I have a sunroof thing here, so it's going to start coming over me. We'll see how that works for lighting. So let me ask you guys this question right now. I'm asking a lot of questions because I'm really checking in, feeling the vibe, where you guys are at. This is going to be, an awesome, experience today. Let me know. What level do you know your niche? 10, clarity, certainty, confidence. 1, not at all.
¿Guardaste las demás personas? No.
Ah, sí.
¿Cómo son?
No sé.
Someone's not muted. Be careful because you get booted. All right, so I'm looking through. This is great. We got a lot of people that are that have a lot of confidence, and it's getting up there. But it's, you know, it's everywhere. Mute or boot. It's great. Okay. So let me ask this question next. So, you know, the promise in this is really simple and great, right? I want you to nail your niche. I want that to be a 10 for everybody here. You know, and it's okay if it's not a 10, but if it went up a few points, right? That'd be awesome. Right? If you went from like a 6 to an 8 or a 3 to a 7, like that's huge, right? Where's your money back? Right? So last year we did this training. We got about 20, 22 people asked for their refund out of 600 people. That's pretty good. And I don't know if all 20 of those, so some people just ask for refunds, you know what I mean? They're like, well, now I can just go spend that money elsewhere. So I don't know how many of those people are like, no, I didn't, you know, nail my niche or whatever. But that was pretty awesome, right? So why am I sharing this? Because I want to ask you guys, this is a really great place to start. Why do you think would cause someone to go through all this training and still not nail their niche? And I want to hear from you guys. So we got mindset, we got fear, lack of confidence. A lot of people saying fear, mindset, overthinking, limited beliefs, blame, ego, rigidity, overthinking, a lot of overthinking, overwhelm. Yeah. Wow, you guys are awesome. These are going so fast. I want to slow them down. Paradox of choice. I like that one. They don't understand their business. It's too narrow of an idea of what a niche is. Afraid to make a choice. Lack of follow through. Yeah, it's good. Really good stuff. It's always easy to diagnose someone else's stuff, isn't it? Why do you think they aren't nailing their niche, right? Yeah, well, now it's your turn. What do you think's preventing you from being at a level 10 certainty, confidence, and clarity for your niche? Fear, resistance to growth, lack of confidence, scattered, lack of clarity, a lot of fear, a lot of doubt. The story that I'm not an expert, that's a story, right? You're all experts at stuff. Like most of you guys here are experts at tying your shoes, right? So it's a story. Judgment, yeah, this is really good. This is something I want you to write down, whatever's coming up for you, okay? So I'm gonna be asking you guys a lot of questions. There's gonna be a lot of introspection. It's gonna be a lot of questions. There's gonna be a lot of exercises. So that's what I want you to write down. The first thing I want you to write down is, if you had to be really honest with yourself, what's preventing you from right now from being a level 10 certainty about your niche? Maybe it's just a fear I'm gonna get it wrong. I'm gonna go in the wrong direction. Don't want to miss out, wanting it to be perfect. How do I even write it? Fear and uncertainty. So give you guys a second to just think about that. Not sure that this is what I want. Yeah. Notice it's going to be different for everybody, you know? Does it even exist? Is this even an idea that's worth doing? Yeah. Getting it wrong and the shame. Can't find my passion. This is great. And it's not even profitable. So do you guys all write that down? So what you're saying is, if you wrote it down, that if we just erased it, then you'd be at a level 10. Is that correct? Like if you look at what you wrote down and we were able to just like eliminate this from your life, like it was just gone, that you'd be at a level 10. And someone said no. So if the answer is no, then you want to ask again, then what's really preventing me from being at a level 10? There's something else there for you. You know, I say over and over again, your business, the business you want, the business you have, is a reflection of you. And so if we want to get to work growing your business, it's going to take growing you, isn't it? So we have to be willing and able to develop that awareness to be able to look and really ask these tough questions of like, what is getting in the way? What's preventing this from just being a 10 right now? And be honest with ourselves and just start to write that down. And if you write that down to check in, you want to ask, if I just eliminated this from my life, if this was no longer an issue, if I could just push a delete key on this, would I have my niche? By the way, and a lot of you guys are writing about fear and doubt, right? And are you noticing that that's what a lot of other people are writing as well? Are you noticing, I mean, we have over 530 something people on this call. We have so much fear, but so do all the other people that are out there, right? You know, are afraid of what they'll say, what they'll think. But it's like we think we're the only ones that are afraid. Everyone else is just as afraid. So we're just afraid of a bunch of people that are afraid. And they're afraid of you. They're afraid of your judgments. They're afraid of your opinions. So we got some work to do, huh? This is gonna be great. Okay, hey, we got some new people here. If you're new to me, you don't know me, will you just type in a Y? Let me know we're new. So hello, you guys. I'm just saying hi, you guys. It'll take 2 seconds to kind of just give a little thing. This is really quickly because I'd rather talk about you guys than me. Host of a podcast now for, I don't know, 4 years called the Mind Your Business Podcast. 5.5 million downloads. Type in a M or MYB if you're a listener. On the podcast, we talk a lot about mindset. I talk a lot about weird stuff, don't I? A lot of woo-woo stuff, a lot of weird stuff. We get into spirituality, energy, manifestation, all kinds of this not so crazy stuff, right? We're going to be doing some of that today. Okay, we're going to be doing some energy clearing for some of the stuff that's already come up for you guys. And, you know, some of you guys are going to be super excited about that. Some of you might be like, what is he talking about? Not really understand, and that's totally okay. But I started with the questions I did because you just start to notice what's there. When we talk about these emotions, please mute yourself, guys. When we talk about these emotions, these fears, these doubts, these uncertainties, this, am I enough? Am I this? And ba-da. You didn't come here to learn some magic framework to nail your niche, because I could give you all the frameworks in the world and you're still going to have this, I'm not enough, I don't think it's going to work, and I have this doubt and I have this fear. The framework, the steps, doesn't get rid of the fear. You know that. How many courses have you taken? How many webinars have you watched? How many books and free reports? And you're like, you just keep knowing more things. You just keep learning more things, but that the fear and the doubt is still there. You guys recognize that, right? And so is this really a question of I need to learn more things in order to nail my niche? Some of you, yeah, and there's stuff to learn here, but if we don't start to clear some of these blockages, I can school you with a million things you can learn. I have so many things I can teach you guys, but if that fear and those blockages are still there, it doesn't matter. So I hope you guys are going to be open heart and open mind to do a clearing today that can be really, really beneficial and really powerful for you guys. So we'll be doing that very shortly. Okay. I'm also the creator of Business by Design. This is my one and only program. I mean, yeah, I do this masterclass, but Business by Design is my program. This is where people start working with me. Do we have any BBD members in his house? Just give me a shout out in here. Type in BBD. They already know to write BBD. You guys are amazing. So this is where I work with my students, my clients. And this is kind of the jumping off point once you know your niche. Like once you're like, I know who I'm here to serve, now what? I'm hoping if you're resonating with me and you're liking you're picking up what I'm putting down, that you'll want to continue with us inside BBD. Our free series is June 15th. I also run a mastermind of some of the most extraordinary people. Some of them are here on this call with you guys. I'm so proud and humbled to facilitate some of today's like most extraordinary leaders. A lot of you guys follow them and look up to them and learn from them. And, you know, they'd like to say I'm, you know, a coach and mentor to them, but I'm just a person that put them all together in a room and kind of stands back in the shadows and lets them do their thing. So I'm very humbled and honored to work with these people, because these are people at 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure levels. And they're extraordinary human beings. And you might recognize some beautiful faces in there. You know, like there's J-Star and JD. So who's already saved the date for our free series? Because that's really what's coming next. June 15th, 2020. You can go to businessbydesign.net to get on the wait list for it, but that's where we're going to drop our 8-part free series. It's going to blow your mind, especially this year. We've got a lot of upgrades and updates. It's going to be so epic. And that's basically like, once you know your niche, we're going to give you free training on the 5 ingredients we bake into every online business that allows it. Sorry, Siri. That allows you to scale, reach more people with your digital products. It's called The Rise of the Digital CEO. And it's your wedding anniversary. I love it. Okay, so I hope you guys will all join us there. I hope you'll save the date for that. It's a really exciting, fun thing we do once a year. Also, what I do today is, you know, I help digital product creators make more money. Like, that's as simple as it is. Anyone who wants to create digital products, I'm going to help them make more money. But I didn't start there. Okay, this is like 13 years of this. So a lot of you guys who already know me know that I started with bartending. That was my first niche. I taught an at-home bartending school. I taught how to start your own bartending, mobile bartending business, how to get paid to freelance bartending. That was my niche. And I created like 5 products around that. I created a product on how to increase your tips. I created a product on how to get a bartending job. Right? That's what got me into all of this. 2007. Yeah, how to fill out your bartender resume. Right? Andrea, Thomas. All right. Then, of all things, I worked with a business partner, and we built a multiple 6-figure business on relationship advice. How to get your ex back after you've been dumped. It was a $97 program, and we crushed that. Yeah, I know nothing about relationships, but I did all the marketing and like all the copy and all that stuff behind it. It was pretty awesome. Then my whole family's in real estate. And one day, about 2010, my dad comes to me, and he used to train real estate agents as they were new. Do we have anyone in real estate in here? Let me know in the chat box. And he goes, do you know all about this Twitter book stuff? Like, what is all this Twitter book? And I'm like, all of a sudden I give my dad an accent. He doesn't have an accent like that. And I go, yes, Dad, it's called Twitter and Facebook. And yes, I know about these things. And he goes, all my new agents are asking about them. And he says, will you come and train? And long story short, I came into his office. I trained about 6 of them. And the president of the company, this was Prudential Real Estate at the time. Prudential Real Estate isn't around anymore, at least not in California. It got bought out by Berkshire Hathaway. And the president of the company happened to pull in to the branch while I'm training these agents. And he goes, that was amazing. Could I bring you on to train all the other agents in all of our branches? All of a sudden, I was speaking at offices all up and down from San Diego to north of LA. Like, I think Calabasas was as far as I go. And then I was selling them virtual group coaching, and I was crushing it. And it was how to use social media in your real estate business, and then turn that into online course. I mean, it was unbelievable. But where my real passion really came through was teaching YouTube, teaching video. For those that don't know, I have a background in film production. I went to film school. And in 2011, I partnered with a good friend of mine, And we launched a little $97 product called Video Traffic Academy. Any VTA members here? This is OG. Yes. Video Traffic Academy taught anyone who wanted to use YouTube how to use YouTube. And in 30 days, with a $97 product, we generated over $400,000 in sales. That product went on to do millions and millions of dollars of sales. And it put me on the map as the YouTube guy. The YouTube guy. And I built $1 million business off of really 2 products. Video Traffic Academy, 97 bucks, and a $49 a month membership teaching how to make videos. So how to use YouTube and how to make videos. And I had a $1.2 million a year business, working about 2 to 3 hours a day and then surfing the rest of the day. It would get up, I'd go surfing, I'd do some work, and then I'd go surfing again. What a dream. And OG. And what is OG? That was orange juice. That's OJ. So that was awesome. James, why don't you just keep doing that? Because, and this is all, I'm telling you all this for a reason. If you guys think I'm just talking about myself, you're missing the point here. Because there's lessons in stories when we pay attention. The reason I don't do that anymore, people go, oh, is YouTube dead? James pivoted, James changed. Right? You guys notice I don't do that anymore. The first thing is that I got really quiet. You know, answers come in the silence, don't they? And I realized that there was a calling there for something more. That my life wasn't going to just be about teaching someone how to make a video. That I wanted to help more people, and I wanted to help them on a deeper level. I wanted to have more impact. So I was craving more impact. Is there anyone already right now, just type in a Y or a 1 that's resonating with that? Like, I feel like I'm meant for more. Okay. I feel like there's more that I can be doing. And so I did one of the scariest things. It was very scary. Okay. Because the thing is people live their lives, or entrepreneurs, like running a business, where first they go, I don't think it's going to make it. I don't think it's going to work. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? Fear it's not going to work. And then all of a sudden, boom, it works. And so you don't have that fear anymore. So instead you need a new fear, which is, what if it doesn't last? What if it doesn't last? What if it all comes crashing down? What if I lose it all? And that's what I was doing, is I said, this isn't what I want to do anymore. And so I pivoted. So me coming out with this podcast, talking about all these weird things like manifestation and energy and spirituality, all these things that really transformed my life. Really did. I wouldn't talk about them if I didn't have evidence after evidence. Like, you hear a lot of people talk about this stuff and you're like, oh, it's so weird. This person's such a weirdo. Why are they talking about all these weird things? You know, especially they want to talk about, like, you know, manifesting, but they're broke. Then, you know, it's just like, I don't really resonate. I didn't resonate with that. So I wanted to be the proof. I wanted to be the proof, the example for other people. And so I'm like, I can't hold this in anymore. I have to talk about these things because this is what made the difference for me. If it worked for me, I want to let people know that it worked for me. And so, yeah, about 4 years ago, it was January, I think it was 2016 or something. That sounds about right. I released a podcast, Mind Your Business. It scared the crap out of me. And I had an email list of over 220,000 people. That email list, just so you know, by the way, dropped down over the next year to less than 30,000. People left reviews and stuff. They're like, yo, dude, I don't want to hear this weird stuff. And they left. I didn't care because I wanted to share that stuff. And so what happened is that audience started to fall away. Those that didn't resonate with that message started to fall away. And you know, those cheesy cliches are cheesy and cliche because there's truth to them. That one door has to close so another one can open. And that's what happened. That's what's happened, you know. And now we've taken the business in this new direction. It's more in alignment and more with my purpose. And we're going to talk about that. And now we took the business from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. And now last year we did over $9.2 million. And for me, it gives me more fulfillment, more meaning, more purpose. And the email list went back up. It went down to as low as 30,000. And right now it's about 110,000. It's just one door's closing while another one's open. People always ask, how did you pivot? How did you do that, right? Those are some of the YouTube products that I ended up creating. Oh yeah, 48-hour film school. So yeah, today I help people make more money, and it's really about an inside-out approach to that. This is a rough number. I think we've generated over $40 million online. That's kind of when we stopped. It could be more, but it isn't less than that. And why did I share all this? Why am I talking about myself? Because I couldn't gotten here without going through all of that. And most people don't get that. You hear all these other cliches. It's the journey, not the destination. But part of the journey is getting it wrong. Part of the journey is making the mistakes. Part of the journey is going in the wrong direction. Why? Because contrast gives you what? Clarity. Thank you, Marissa. Yeah, it gives you clarity. So I had to go through all of that to learn, to grow, to figure out more of what I want. But you think you're just like, I just want to get to the finish line. No, you don't. It's the journey. I don't miss any of that time. Hustling and living under my parents' house and trying to figure it all out and eating Subway sandwiches because that's all I could afford, the $5 footlongs. We resist so much of the part in our journey that we're at, but you are exactly where you need to be. The quicker you get that, the quicker you're going to get the clarity you need to get to the next place. But if you're resisting where you're at, like there's something wrong with where I am, I'm supposed to be somewhere else, what you resist, what? Persists, right? So you can't choose the wrong niche, because the moment you do wrong, you'll know, and it'll give you more clarity on what you do want. It's not doing anything that is the biggest mistake people are making. It's not choosing any niche that is a choice. And it's the only mistake you can make, because it's the only thing that's going to guarantee no results, is doing nothing. Okay? You guys know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but it's time we start to apply what we know. Okay? All right. So I want us to end this story of, I don't know my niche. So is there anybody that has found themselves saying that? Like, I just don't know my niche. I don't know my niche. Type in a me or M-E, me, Y, yes. Cool. Who has found themselves saying, yeah, I just don't know my niche. All right. For all those people who said me or yes, which I assume is most of you guys, I'm going to ask you a really tough question. Okay? And I need you to be really tough at answering it. Okay? So if you've been saying this story, I don't know my niche, what does I don't know my niche give you? Go ahead and type it in the chat box. And some of you wrote nothing. That's not true at all. It absolutely gives you something. And some of you guys are starting to get it. Very good. It gives you an excuse. It gives you safety. What benefit do you get from telling the story that I don't know my niche? It's not nothing. If you wrote nothing, I love you guys all so much, but your ego is trying to hide the truth from you. It absolutely gives you something. There's a coaching and psychology term called a secondary gain, which is everything that we do, even actions, thought patterns, and behaviors that are not helpful, have what's called a secondary gain. And most of these secondary gains are hidden to us. They benefit us. So what is the secondary gain? How do you benefit? And it's not nothing. I will not accept nothing as an answer. You get a benefit out of saying this. Exactly. Can't fail if I don't start. You get to avoid failure. You get to avoid risk. You get to avoid uncertainty. So what is it specifically for you? And I want you to write that down. Well, there's no benefit in stuck. Mariana, stuck isn't a benefit. It gives me safety, avoidance of judgment, avoidance of fear. You get to avoid rejection. Yeah. Relationships won't suffer. I get to avoid embarrassment. Okay, I'm going to give you guys another 10 seconds to just really get clear and honest. What is the benefit or the secondary gain that I get from this story? And it must be a benefit. Avoid being vulnerable and being myself. It gives me comfort. It allows me to stay safe. No money, Shelly, is not a benefit. There's no benefit in saying no money. If you've linked money to some sort of pain, like more money, more problems, then it gives you avoiding problems. But money isn't a problem. Money is just money. It gives you an excuse to avoid what? What is this story giving you permission to avoid in your life? Well done, you guys. Now, beautiful. I'm just loving this. Okay, so who, in just asking that question, who got something just from that? Who had just an insight, an observation from that? It's beautiful. So I just want you to consider right now that there's a part of you that's using this. It's trying to serve you, right? It's like the ego just wants to, help you out. Hey, you know what? Like, I just want to protect you. I want to keep you safe. I don't want you risking anything. So we're just going to say that you can't figure this out. Yeah, that's great, Jennifer. That's beautiful. I love the, like peeling back a Band-Aid and seeing a festering wound. But now that you can see the wound, Jennifer, what does that mean? It means we can start to heal it, right? It's like ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It's awareness, okay? Now that I asked that question, what do you think the next question is I'm going to ask? Where are you going to be this time next year if you continue to tell this story every day? I really want you to get clear on this because a lot of people are saying the same place. I don't really buy that. Like, if you were a little overweight, like let's say you're 20 pounds overweight and every day you eat cheeseburgers. And I said, where do you think you're going to be 12 months from now if you keep eating cheeseburgers for the next year? Would you really say, well, I'll still be 20 pounds overweight? Or would you be 40 pounds overweight? I want to be very careful with this or I want you to be very careful with this because that's kind of one of the things our brain says is that like, it's just going to be like the same. And I don't know how it can be the same because the longer problems remain in our lives, I don't know about you guys, but in my experience, they get worse. They get worse because it's any problem over time has more consequences, right? And so I really want you guys to take a second, and there's a reason why we're doing this. This isn't just patty cake hour here, all right? Is that when you get present to the real consequence that's at stake in your life, if you hold on to this story, it's just a thought. So you're the creator of your life. So when you say, I don't know my niche, what is it that you create in your life? You create not knowing your niche. But when the pain of this story is greater than the thing that you're trying to avoid, the pain of going after it, the pain of actually nailing your niche, you will let go of that story. Does that make sense? So, in other words, if I asked you, what does not knowing my niche give you? And you said, you know, it allows me to avoid rejection. And then I said, where are you going to be in 12 months if you don't know your niche? I said, you know, I'm just going to finally have to give up on this thing and just call it quits and give up on my dreams. If you were to ask me, James, which one do you want? Rejection? You know, a few people to reject you or give you negative opinions or criticisms, or to not follow your dreams and live your best life and, you know, fulfill your purpose, I'd say I'll take the rejection, please. Right? Because life is a choice. Most people are going around saying, I'm stuck, I can't, I have to, but life is a choice. And I am just making the choices clear for you. And I can't make any choices for you because we all have free will. And you just have to choose what you want to choose. But now you know what the choices are. Choice number one is keep avoiding what I've been avoiding, or, you know, deal with the consequences of holding on to the story. That's the choice. What are you going to choose? Okay? You could choose the former, the first one, and then we can just be on with this thing. You know, like Kirsty's like, I'll just deal with the rejection. It's unavoidable, guys. I've had people laugh at me. I've had death threats. You know, you run a Facebook ad and someone's like, go kill yourself. Oh my gosh. You know, but I'm here, I'm alive, and I'm happy. And I make a lot of money. I don't need to make a lot of money to be happy, but it's nice to make a lot of money. It's nice to help a lot of people. It's nice that I can have 550 people here that I can help and touch in some way. And you know, in the same ad that you follow, the same email, I know there were people that are like, scammer. Okay, it's great. I'm not for everybody, right? You're not for everybody either. Stop trying to be for everybody. That's vanilla. You know? Well, and even, Iman, I appreciate that, but even that, it's just everyone's opinions. No one's right or wrong, you know? It's just a perspective. But it's not going to, someone's perspective of me doesn't stop me from living my purpose, from doing what I'm here to do. So why is it doing it to you guys? Why is a bunch of people that are just as afraid of you dictating how your life goes? When I realized that, I was like, this is nonsense. What am I doing with my life? Right? And I can't make those choices for you. Life is a choice, but I am going to give you the choices. Here's the choices right in front of you. For people that are like really doing this work and asking these questions, the choices couldn't be more clear. Okay. And you get to choose what you want. I have no attachment or judgment of what you choose. You can say, you know what, James, I really don't want to go down that. I don't want to do this. Good. That's a choice. That's beautiful. Know what you want. Clarity, right? But those are the choices. And if you are choosing to say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to let go of any story and any nonsense that would have me argue for my limitations, then we're going to set an intention and do an energy clearing right now. It takes about 5 to 6 minutes. It is a little woo-woo and weird, but a lot of my audience that already knows me is all on board with that stuff. And, you know, you can choose to participate. You can choose to not participate. That's really up to you. But here's how this is going to work. This is really fun and this can be really powerful. I have so much to go over, so I don't want to go on too many tangents of stories and stuff. But when I first started learning this and doing this, I had some of the most miraculous miracles, kind of a double word there, miraculous miracles happen in my life. From getting our dream home in Laguna Beach, our dream town, within 3 days of the day I set the manifestation. 3 days. Within 3 days. And if I'm really honest, I think it was the day I said it was the day we found the house on Zillow. To getting our second home and third home actually out here in Sedona, which is our like home away from home. I can't tell you how many just powerful and exciting miracles that happen from this. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to grab a piece of paper, fresh piece of paper, and you're going to write on this piece of paper the following command. A lot of what people are doing with manifestations is they're more asking and hoping and begging, which is the energy of focusing on the lack or the acknowledgement of not having it. And I want you to treat this like a command, synonymous, great metaphor here, with like making an Amazon purchase. So you go to Amazon to buy all kinds of junk, right? And you're like, I want these new sheets, or I want these new drapes, or I want this new whatever. I want a new toaster. And you go to Amazon and you just go order, done. And you go about your life, right? So it's just kind of this like command. So you are going to write down on a piece of paper, it is commanded. And you can, if I want you to use those first three words, it's very powerful. It's commanded. This is your life. You're the creator of your life. You, creator, command, just decide, right? And you can use different words here like nail my niche or know who I serve, whatever works for you, right? But this is what I wrote to kind of help you guys with it so that I know with absolute clarity and certainty who I serve and how I serve them by such and such date. So the date today is Tuesday, May 19th. May 19th, man, where's the time going, right? You can put by the end of day, May 19th. You could put by when you wake up tomorrow. You could put the end of the year. I don't care. Put when do you want to know this by? Yeah, or if you're in Australia, it's already the next day. Okay? You're going to write that on a piece of paper, and then in your mind right now, I want you to think of a symbol related to this manifestation. Like something you could draw really simple. Maybe it's N for niche. Maybe it's a symbol that's related to the area of expertise that you're already moving towards. Like business, you could do a dollar sign. Or relationships, you could do a heart. It's up to you, right? But a sign. Okay? Katie's got her Palo Santo going. I love it. So you're going to write that down. You're going to think of a symbol, and you're going to draw on that same piece of paper these three circles with your, it says simple, but I meant symbol, your symbol in the middle. Symbol. Let me bring that up again. And I'm just going to give you a few seconds to do that. You don't need to color it. You don't need to get out the markers or anything. The intention is there. Now, because I have so much else I want to cover, like when people keep working with me more, they can learn more about what this is and what we're going through. But this is a very powerful symbol that we're going to activate within you that is used for manifestation. Okay, so as soon as you have that down, I just want you to say out loud to yourself, you only need to do this once, what it is that you wrote down. Okay, so you're just going to say it is commanded that I nail my niche or whatever you said by this date, and you can just say it, you know, with looking at that symbol that you drew. It's pretty simple. Okay. I will not all explain what that is on the next page. As soon as you've done this, just type in a 1 for me so I kind of know where people are at. You guys are rocking. Look at that. All right. Okay, who's familiar with the concept of your higher self? Type in me or cool. So again, I don't want to go on too many tangents here, but we're going to have a conversation with your higher self really quickly. In other words, this is like, just think of this as your intuition. I mean, there are Forbes and Entrepreneur magazine articles talking about how many of today's entrepreneurs, business owners, high-level execs use intuition on an everyday level because of the amount of decisions that we have to make. Oh my goodness, right? And there's times when we just go with our gut. right? And so what if we could learn a way to be a little bit more strategic in how we connect with our higher self and receive that guidance? So that's what we're going to do right now. And I'm going to teach you guys a way in which you can connect with your higher self. Okay. So if you got kids around and you got distractions, it might be a little harder because this is going to take kind of slowing your brain down for a moment and just kind of focusing on your breathing. So I'll have you guys sit up straight, feet on flat on the floor. And just taking a deep breath or two. You can go in through your nose. Just focus on your breath as you exhale through your mouth. Go ahead and do that again. You know, the more we can just train our brain to go into a slower, more like theta brainwave state, the more we can be open to receive, tap more into that intuition. So I want you to take your left hand. You're gonna have your palm facing down, fingers pointed away from you, hand relaxed. I just want you to rest it on your knee. Rest it on your leg so that your left hand is not touching anything, okay? And as you do that, I just want you to focus all of your attention on your left hand. Just move your awareness to your left hand. With your right hand, type in a 1 in the chat box if you can even start to feel some energy in your left hand right now. Some people are going to be really sensitive to energy. Some people are not. I was not for a very long time. I thought this was weird and crazy for a very long time. And then I thought there was something wrong with me. So you guys, a lot of you are already starting to feel something in your left hand. So now what I want you to do is I'm going to ask you to say a command out loud. You're going to say it with intent. And when you say it out loud, I want you to notice how the energy feels in your left hand and how it changes, okay? So when you're ready, you're just going to say out loud, connecting to my higher self. Type in a 2 if you could feel the energy get more intense once you did that. So you're going to see a lot of people writing a 2. That's pretty awesome. What? That's crazy. Keep your left hand there. That's good. Okay, so yeah, we got a lot of people on here, right? And so a lot of people are noticing. It's okay if it doesn't. Like for me, I could not feel energy for a really long time. Okay, so we're gonna practice. This is a tool you can take with you. I know you just came here to nail your niche. That's what they all come here for. So you're gonna practice learning what a yes and a no looks like from your higher self. So I want you to just ask your higher self a yes question. Like I would ask, is my name James? So you want to ask a simple question that you know the answer to is a yes. And what you should feel, again, this takes a lot of practice. You should feel the energy going out from your palm to your fingertips. It's going out, okay? So just practice that and see if you can start to notice when you ask, like, is my name James? The energy begin to go out. Type in a 1 if you could feel that using your right hand, so I can kind of check in. Cool. So just practice that for a second. And even if it's faintly, that's great. It's little. Yeah, you can put your hand on your leg. Weird. Okay, now, yeah, you can do it with a pendulum. Pendulum, it works great too. Yasmin says, why do I feel like crying? Probably because your higher self's been wanting to connect with you for a really long time. It's been waiting for you to, connect. It's beautiful. So now ask a question that you know the answer is no. And see if you can feel the energy coming back in. Ella, it doesn't really matter. Is it supposed to be on my leg or above my leg? Whatever's comfortable, as long as your hand isn't touching anything. Just because I want you guys to be able to feel the energy. This is insane. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So did you guys type in a 2 if you felt the energy going the other way now? Yeah. By the way, please do not make it mean anything you can't. I couldn't feel this for years. Okay, so I've been working with somebody for 4.5 years now, and it took me, I don't know, 2 years. I sucked at this, all right? Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to ask a question. You guys all created this is this is really important. So you guys all just set a manifestation in motion. You do not need to do this again. You do, keep your left hand there because we're going to do something with this. You do not need to do this again. The manifestation has been set in motion. You're good. You can leave this out so you can look at it, but you don't need to do it every day. That just reinforces that you don't think it's going to happen, right? Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to ask your higher self a really simple question, which is, do you have any blockages related to this manifestation? So you're going to ask that question out loud. Do I have any blockages related to nailing my niche? And then you're going to type in with your right hand, Y for yes or N for no. Energy going out is a yes. Energy going in is a no. Do I have any blockages related to this? Yeah, big time. Yeah, if there's a lot of energy moving, that probably means big time. Yeah. So we're getting a lot of yeses and a lot of nos. Some people get both, and that's because part of this is a practice, right? So I'm going to say, even if it's a no, even if you're getting a no, there's still a chance it might be a yes. Like maybe we're just kind of still learning how to read the energy, and maybe there's a blockage preventing you from reading the energy. So I'm going to invite you to do this clearing with us. So we're going to do a really simple, easy clearing that will allow you to clear these energetic blockages. So what I mean by this is the energy, the deep-rooted beliefs and stories that would have you be in fear, doubt, unworthiness, and stuff like that, that would prevent you from just saying, yeah, this is what I'm here to do. Okay, so would you like to clear these blockages so that we can like actually manifest this thing? Okay, cool. So you're still connected to your higher self. You still have your left palm out. I just want you to focus on this image. It's the same one as the page before, but instead of your symbol, it's this symbol. Okay. All you need to do is sit there and focus on that image. You don't need to strain your eyes or force it. Just focus right on the center of it. Just stay relaxed. Just keep breathing. Just gonna move something around for a second. Sorry, guys. So what I want you to do is when you're ready, I want you to breathe this image, this code, in through your third eye. Hold it there and just close your eyes. And then move your attention back to your left hand and notice what happens in your left hand as I do the clearing. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that all blockages are cleared for this manifestation of nailing your niche for everyone on this call now to Asia and to Doi. So just keep focusing on your left hand. Keep breathing. You might start to feel energy between the tips of your fingers, your second knuckles. To the top of the palm. Feel it in the center of your palm. Just keep breathing. You should start to feel it going under your wrist now. You feel it under your wrist, that means the clearing is complete. Did you guys all feel that? Let me know. Awesome. Just hand to wrist. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of energy moving through. That's awesome, you guys. Cool. Even if you didn't feel it, and I cannot stress enough, I've always been someone that was my experience. I struggled to feel anything, and I just want you to trust that worked. I've done this so many times with so many people, been on the giving end and receiving end. It's unbelievable. And then, of course, you guys are reading a lot of the things that people are sharing here. And it's pretty awesome. So this is subtle energy that we're working with. And so you'll start to notice subtle shifts. It might be as soon as on this call, like an answer just comes to you, like, why was this bothering me? Why is this holding me back? You might start to notice things weeks from now. But I had an experience, well, that's kind of just integrating with you guys, and I'll give you a chance to get some water and stuff. I'll just share one of my stories. First time I did this, I wanted to do something big because I'm the kind of person that's like, go big or go home. So I said, I want to manifest $1 million in 30 days. That's more than I'd ever done. So that's a lot. That's pretty awesome. And I did this, this clearing, and then about 2 weeks go by. And these things started happening that I ended up calling the perfect storm. I had a falling out with a really good friend, someone I'd been friends with a long time ago. We got in a fight, we had a falling out, it was drama. Like, that's weird. I don't have trauma. This doesn't happen. One of my high-end clients, we had drama all of a sudden. They got upset with something I said. They got really triggered. And then, I'm kicking them out of the program they were in. And it's just like, oh, it's awful. And we had a team member that ended up we found out they were doing some shady stuff, and we had to call them out on it. And it was really heartbreaking, and we had to fire them. And then we had a venue that we had booked that bailed on us at the last minute. We had to find another venue. All of this happened in a 3-day period. And I was like, what the F is happening in my life right now? And then I remembered that I had done this clearing. And what happens is that these blockages that we hold on to give us those secondary gains in our life. They give us a sense of certainty and familiarity. But if they're not serving us and it's time for them to go, they begin to fall out of your hologram. And if you look at that perfect storm that I described, every one of those was things that wasn't serving me that was falling out. A client that wasn't serving me, a friend that was no longer aligned and on the same wavelength as me, a team member, and even a venue. And it just all happened at once. And as soon as I remembered that, I kind of just surrendered and was like, whatever, it'll be okay. And the original goal was that I would do $1 million in my launch by 30 days out. And I did the launch, and we only did $500,000. And I was like, this thing didn't work. And then I ended up doing another back-end promotion and made another $500,000. And that's when I took a step back and I realized that was what I wanted. We did $1 million in 30 days. And, you know, there's always those things you'll hear people say, like, the universe has better plans for you than you could ever come up for yourself. So I tried creating my own plan on how it was supposed to look and how it was supposed to happen, but there was a better plan and path. And all I really needed to set was my intention on the outcome. And then there it was. So ever since that moment, I put away all doubt and skepticism about it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, like you get 15 minutes of kind of feeling good and relaxing for a little bit, taking a break before we get back into more stuff, you know? So what harm does it do to just kind of go through it and move on, you know? So, awesome. So yeah, you guys keep an eye out for stuff that starts popping up or letting go. So I know, yeah, Ben, that's funny. Bartender to this weird energy dude. So, okay. So you guys felt that was helpful? Because again, I guess I just keep teaching and wanting to help, and I just keep going down the path of like, I can give people all the content in the world. Why isn't it working? Why are there still people that it's not working for? Why can I say the same thing to two people and one person gets it and the other person doesn't? And so that's the biggest thing too, is like, if things aren't working in your life, don't think you know how it's going to work, because you don't know what you don't know. Yeah, Kasia Kim. Yes, correct. Okay, let's move on. Let's get some stuff freaking done. All right. So you guys should be feeling good. You guys should be feeling maybe a little tired. Some people start to feel tired. Some people might fall asleep on this call. That's okay. All right. So let's get some things straight as we continue going through all this. All right. We are rocking and rolling. I don't know your niche. You guys know that I don't know your niche, right? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know your niche. Okay, good. I'm also not going to tell you your niche, right? Because I don't know it. So who does know it? If I don't know it, who does? Exactly, Elena. I'm also, who came here looking for permission? We gotta drop this permission paradigm. Like, if you look at your environment growing up, you're this little person and everyone around you is bigger than you, and they all expected that you would ask permission, even permission to go to the bathroom when you were a kid. You had to ask permission to have a basic bodily function. So we've been trained to ask for permission our whole lives. And then one day we said, I want to go into business for myself. Will someone give me permission? And that's fine, except how long are you going to wait for someone to give you permission? No one's coming. No one's coming to give you permission. And I'm not. I refuse to give you permission because you don't need it. Exactly. Permission granted for yourself. No one gave me permission. Okay. Also, I know we're going to have some beliefs here. That's one of your blockages, that you create a story of the certain prerequisites for doing what you need. Like, I have to have a book. I have to have a certification. I have to have a degree. No, you don't. It's nice to have those things, but you don't have to. Those aren't prerequisites. Requisite, required is in the word. It's not required. And how many people have we seen that just chase certifications and degrees for years? And they just stuff their head full of more knowledge, right? But the truth is you can help somebody today where you are right now. I said where you are right now is perfect. There's somebody out there that you can help right now. And then you'll help them. You'll continue growing and you'll learn more and you'll be able to help more. But I don't have, and especially when I got to $1 million, there was no certifications, no books. Yes, I had a college degree, and that was, you know, to go into the film industry, but nothing for what I do today. Crazy, right? So, that's all that really matters, is that you can help people and get them a result. You can solve a problem for them. And like I said, you're all experts at tying your shoes, and you can help a little kiddo tie their shoes, right? So there's all things that we can do that other people don't know how to do. And if that problem is like important enough and significant enough for that person, they'll pay for it. Okay. Yeah, some people are going to start having revelations and stuff. That's why we did the clearing first, because as you're listening and staying open, things are going to just start coming to you. So Olga says, can you repeat that? I don't remember that, what I said. But we all have, there's a problem that we can solve for somebody right now. And if that problem is significant for that person, they'll pay to have it solved. You guys all paid to get your niche nailed. You guys got all paid to be here. That's a significant problem for you. Someone that just started yesterday and is like, I think I already know what I want to do. That's not really a significant problem for them. But the person that typed here, like, I've been trying to do this for 3, 5, 7, 10 years. It's become a significant problem and they're willing to pay to get it solved. Right? And then you can do the same guarantee that I did, which is like, and if it doesn't work, I'll give you your money back. I love doing that. If I didn't help you, get your money back. Right? You already know that the value of having the clarity is worth far more than $97. And, you know, you have an opportunity, it's another conversation to get clear on how valuable it is, the problems you're going to solve for people. And it should be far more than even what you charge them. The other thing too is, like somebody already said, I think it was, I forgot who it was, but you already know your niche. We need to start from this premise. I'd like you to consider that you already know it. It's like it's already there. So I use this image of the sun kind of starting to peek through the clouds, because how many times when it's cloudy out do we say, oh, the sun didn't come out today? What a silly thing that we humans say, right? Oh, the sun didn't come out today. What are you talking about? It comes out every day. You just can't see it. So the sun is like your niche, your purpose, your passion, your dharma. We're going to talk about that too. It's there, folks. It's there. Maybe you can't see it there yet, but it's there. Maybe consciously you don't know it there, but in your heart you do. Okay, so a part of you and who you truly are does know it. Problem is you're looking for it in your head. It's not in your head, it's in your heart. How many of you even said at the beginning of this call that we're overthinking it? I think what's preventing me is I'm overthinking it. So overthinking means we're spending too much in our head. Like I can come up with a million reasons why everyone's niche will not work. And then we start seeing other people doing something that's making money. Like I'm going to share with you examples of successful niches and you're going to say, oh, that's a successful niche. I'll do it. And you got to get this. This is so important. They're not successful because of the niche. They're successful because they follow their heart. They're doing what's in alignment for them. And you copying somebody else is you out of alignment. That's why you see people try to copy what other people are doing and then they fail. So you keep chasing what other people are doing. You're like, oh, he was successful with YouTube. I'll do YouTube. But if that's not your dharma, that's not what you're here to do, you're going to fail. Because part of your dharma is figuring out what your dharma is. And so you need that contrast to get the clarity. So when you're not on your path, bam, it's going to smack you in the face to tell you you're not on your path. So just copying what other people have done because it worked for them is just going to prolong this for everybody. Okay? Does that make sense? And it's also 100% okay to be, and a good thing that someone else is doing something. So I say this because people say, well, I really want to do this, but someone else is already doing it. James is already doing it. Who the heck cares? How many billions of people are on this planet? Well, we'll talk about Dharma in a moment. How many billions of people are on this planet? You know, we make millions of dollars. We only have like 3,000 customers in BBD. We're doing just fine. You really don't need that many people to start making enough money to quit your job, not worry about money anymore, and just do what you love. I mean, you're not really asking too much. Be like, you know what, a couple hundred customers a year out of the billions of people. And then we start talking about back-end offers and creating lifetime customer value, all that stuff. It's a game changer, okay? But of course, there's always gonna be other people doing what you do. Is your business only as strong as how uncompetitive your marketplace is? That's not a very strong business, okay? So then people start to say, okay, well, James, well, how will I know for sure You really won't, because we'll always continue to second guess it until people start giving you money for it. So you will need feedback. I'll give you a way that you can get feedback like while you're on this call, which would be a really cool thing to do. But you'll have to be willing to go out there and risk the thing that some of you have been trying to avoid, which is putting yourself out there, getting it wrong, making a mistake, looking stupid. I look stupid all the time. I really don't care that I look stupid, because I found the more mistakes I'm willing to make, the more successes I end up having. Okay? So hopefully you'll do that. You'll be willing to do that. But the ultimate feedback test is when someone hands you money. All right. Proof is in the profit, baby. Okay? So when people start saying things, and they might already be coming to you, you want to really pay attention to this. When people start just resonating and saying like, hey, I know you're teaching this, but could you tell me how you did that? Or, oh my goodness, that's me. Yes. Can you help me with that? You want to start just keeping your eyes and ears open to that, okay? Okay, and then as we start getting into some more specifics in this training, there's 3 S words that I want you to write down and pay very close attention. If you just use these 3 words, they become your 3 amigos, your 3 egos. Sorry, I have bad humor. Then this is gonna really help you. Simple, specific, and symptoms. These 3 words are the 3 tools that you're gonna use for nailing your niche, for having the words you need to use to feeling the confidence and the certainty. So if it's not simple, if it's not specific, and if you're not speaking to the symptoms, that's a very key distinction. I've never heard anybody talk about it that way. And this is gonna be a big thing that unless people have done my training before, have never heard this before, it's gonna be so important, so powerful. That's what's gonna give you that specialization. Amigos. Okay, so we're gonna talk about, we've cleared these blockages, but let's now make sure we gain the wisdom and the distinctions in our thinking and 3D awareness. So we're gonna just really quickly go over some of these, what I like to call silly beliefs that we hold on to. Okay, so the first one is, the only successful niches that are out there are online marketing and making money, like social media or marketing or sales or anything making money. Type in a 1, you gotta be honest with me, be honest, you know, with yourself too. Type in a 1 if you've found yourself holding that belief at any time. Yeah, so a lot of people. Okay, so so some of you have heard that. Okay, here, look, this is so funny. I want you to if you typed in a 1 or a Y or a yes, here's why you've believed that. It's really funny. It's because you're their audience and they know how to market you. So you see them everywhere you go because they're really good at targeting you. And it's really as simple as that. But when you're not day in and day out in all these other niches, you don't get those ads. I don't get ads for art lessons or guitar lessons or anything like that because that's not who I am. That's not my avatar. They're not targeting me. But you're all here because you want to learn more marketing, more business. Who is that? Mute yourself, please. Hurry up, better mute yourself, you're gonna get booted. Okay, do you guys get that? So the only reason is because you're inundated with their ads. Why are you inundated with their ads and their promotions and their stuff? Is because you're their audience. So that's all you see because they're all marketing to you. Does that make sense? So let me show you some people. These are people I've all worked with. I've worked with on many different capacities that are very successful. Patty Palmer, she teaches art lessons to art teachers, multiple 7-figure business. Nicole Begley, pet photographer. John Akampora teaches Excel spreadsheets to career-based individuals that need to use Excel in their business, or sorry, as their job, as their career. Kathy Hay teaches, I forget this, it's even more nichier than that, right? It's like vintage Victorian or authentic vintage Victorian corset making. Jason Brown teaches financial investments. Chris Vondermaiden, meditation. Emily Ahrens, how to unlock your intuition. Bobby Klink, It's legal templates. April Perry, home organizing. I got a few people that teach music production, guitar lessons, college admission prep. This is one of our members that just did a 6-figure launch. Even during this time, like just closed up like a week or two ago, 6-figure launch on an online course on how to help their kids prepare for college admissions. Plus size weight loss, Coach Tulin. Homesteading, he's one of our amazing case studies, Brett James. Style, clothing and makeup. Menopause, how to like navigate menopause. Amber Briezicki, how to do macro counting, so it's nutrition. Barbara Neal, this is a longer one, but it helps early childhood teachers transform their challenging behavior of the kids. EFT tapping, anyone know tapping, EFT? You can do it for all kinds of stuff, just for like, managing your emotions. Melissa helps teachers, tools and training for teachers. Allison, meal prep. Even Jasmine Shea, she's a team member of ours. She's one of our head coaches now, does meal prep as well. Yeah, a lot of you guys know some of these people, right? Natasha teaches parenting advice. And every person I listed is crushing it. I didn't just put someone on here as like, got a niche, but they're like, well, I haven't made a sale yet. They're all crushing it. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, people are gonna have questions like Olga's like, what if you have a number of interest? I got you covered. Don't worry, Olga. It's all coming. I've helped so many people have all these different ways in which they don't have the clarity, and I'm just gonna keep tackling it from everyone. So anybody here who's holding on to say, well, I don't want to do marketing or making money, but that's the only way you can do it, and that's what's holding you back. Now you know it's not. Okay, because what it is holding a lot of people back is they say, I don't think I can make money with this. And there's a lot of people making a lot of money with a lot less competition in these other spaces. But unless you're in the homesteading or the style and makeup niche or the menopause niche, like you're not going to know about these. And there isn't such thing as an oversaturated niche. It's not oversaturated, it's just sophisticated. Plain and simple. Anyone who's speaking to an idea or even tells you that something is oversaturated is operating from lack, and lack is an illusion. It's not oversaturation, it's simply sophistication, which means you have to be more sophisticated in your marketing. So if you go into a market that people dub as this is oversaturated, all that means is you can't have crap marketing and be successful. You just have to have better marketing. And for people that got that, that was powerful. That was a really important thing. So thank you. Great question. Okay. So here's another example. This offer is a niche on how to nail your niche. I know people that have built multiple 6-figure businesses just on helping people find their passion, their purpose, their niche. This is last year's stats. 600 customers with no launch, no pre-launch, no content, straight to a sales page. Did you guys notice we didn't do any type of launch around this? You didn't get a webinar. For a lot of you, you just saw an ad and clicked to a sales page and bought. And this was last year's number. This year, we have over 700 customers as of 2 hours before the start of this call, and almost a 3% conversion. So it's getting better. That's a real great lesson in momentum. A lot of my students, when they come to see me, big mistake that they're making is they do their first launch or their first idea and it didn't have a home run results. I didn't make millions overnight, and so they give up. But the truth is things take momentum. Momentum, okay? Our first launch for Business by Design was $18,000. Last year's was over 5 million. No, 4.9 and change million. It's not over 5 million, it's 4.9. 3 years, momentum. You keep hopping around, changing directions, do you have momentum? No, you're starting over every day. But James, you have a list. Lynn, stop getting yourself off the hook. We all started at 0. There's no buts after any of this. You can't have a list if you don't know your niche. No one's going to follow you and not know why they should be following you. You can't say, hey, follow me and let me and be on my list, even though I don't know what I do or how I can help you. You don't have a list because you don't know your niche. And I know I sound really tough, but I got to fight for you guys because it's silly. People say, well, I don't have a list, so I can't do any of this stuff. Everybody starts at 0. And no one will follow you until they have a reason why they should follow you. And if we say we don't know our niche, we don't know what that reason is. Then we can start building our list. Here's another belief. All right, put a 1. If this is you, I don't want to put myself into a box, James. Nailing my niche is going to limit me. It's going to limit my potential. I'm infinite potential. I just can't do that. I can't limit me. I can't limit my customers. Look how unhappy this fragile this way up person is. I can do so much more than just this one thing. All right. You guys put your 1s in there. Good. All right. This blows a lot of people's minds. Your niche isn't a box that defines you. Who you are. So you should actually be like, yeah, that's really good. Like you should actually be feeling really good if you typed in a 1 because Verena, you're unmuted. Verena, you're unmuted. All right, guys, we'll get this. You are infinite potential. And exactly, Sina said it, you're not your niche. You are infinite potential. Now, you may not believe that yet, but you are. So you are not your niche. Your niche isn't defining you. Your niche describes your offer. It puts your offer in a box, but not you. And how many offers can you have? How many offers can you have? Infinite. Exactly. You can have as many offers as you want. Yes. September's it. Yeah. 1 bajillion Googleplex, right? Millions. Now, do you need a ton of offers? No. Can you take 1 offer to 1,000,000? Yes. I worked with a client several years ago, Hillary Rushford. She took one $197 product to $1 million in 9 months. Creating more offers will create more work for you. That's fine. This is more work for me to do this. I don't have to do this. You know, we're not doing this. It's like, oh, we need some money or something. We do this because this is one of the biggest sticking points for people. And it's so simple. It's not easy, but it's so simple. Okay. Did that resonate for everybody that said 1 and was like, this is a stigma? Did you get that? We're not putting you in a box. You can be anything and everything, but your offer has to fit in that box. Each offer is 1 niche. September's got their niche. Okay. Yeah, and you only need 1 to get started. Okay. So your niche, that offer, becomes the doorway through which people enter your world. So someone's walking down the street, like New York City or something, like, and they're sidewalk shopping, they're looking through the windows, and all of a sudden they go, bam, here's this one thing that I need more than anything in the world. This is me. This is my specific problem. And they go into the shop. And then they see the rest of your world, don't they? All the other ways that they can work with you. But what you guys got to start getting is that the way people walk around is how. I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem. Who can solve my problem? Because I got this problem, I got to fix this problem, problem, this one problem, this one and only problem, this darn problem. And then you're like, I do everything. And they're like, cool, I need that later. But first I got to fix this problem, got to fix this problem. Where's this problem? I got to solve this problem. Where's this problem? Someone help me with this problem. You guys are on here because you're like, I got to figure out my niche. This guy knows me. I know I don't know my niche yet because I got this problem. And if I could only just get my niche figured out, if I could only figure out who I serve and how I say it in the right way that people will get it and understand it and start buying from me. That's my problem. I don't need to launch yet. I don't need a Facebook ads yet. I don't need Instagram yet. I don't need all these other things yet because I got this one problem, problem. And then this bozo on the internet says, hey, struggling to figure out your niche? Yes, I am actually. You can take a break anytime you want, Catherine. Okay, so if your offer was a book, just pretend it's a book. Go ahead and write this down and type it in the chat box. Which category would I find it if I was looking for it in Barnes & Noble? Is there a mindset category? I'm gonna trigger some of our mindset people on here today. It's gonna be great. Cool. So you got this book. Well, just one book. You can write 1 million books, right? What section would it go into? So this is like what I call, there's like mega markets, and then there's like secondary markets. And what you guys just wrote down, and just pick one for now. Just play with one right now, okay? We're gonna deal with people that have like multiple things like that, okay? So, a lot of you guys got some answers there, didn't you? What category? Does it even help just to know this is what category, look at the titles up here. History, and what is that saying? I can't, limited quantities, that's not a section. History, what would be the sign above it? So that's really great. Murder mystery. The clearance rack. How about the premium stuff? Yeah, spirituality is a category. Right? So that's good. That's not your niche, that's the category. Okay? So then what your niche becomes, and again, we're going to tackle this from so many different ways. So this might resonate with you, one of the exercises might resonate with you, but one of them will get you. So now you're in the category. What's going to have somebody choose your book over any other book in that category? What causes your book to stand out besides the pretty cover and the pretty picture? No, it's not you, Sherry. It's people that think that. It's me. I'm the unique one. It's like, of course you're unique, but everyone's unique. Everyone's unique. They don't care about you yet. Quicker you guys get that, quicker we can just get on with effective marketing. No one cares about you. You guys don't care about me. Right? You guys might resonate with me. You guys might go, I like his style or something, but you don't care about me. You care about you. Yeah, you guys are saying things like the promise headline. Absolutely. You want to ask yourself right now, okay, if this is my category, health, wellness, spirituality, family, relationships, you want to see what comes up in this question for your own niche. What would cause someone to choose my book over anyone else's? What makes mine unique? What makes mine specific? What makes it stand out? What makes it specialized? I'm not looking for general answers. You guys all have all the great quotes and answers. I'm talking, let's apply that. Let's apply that to something specifically for you. So I'm not looking for answers like marketing or credibility or trust or headline or promise. I'm looking for what is that specifically for you. Like, what would that book say? What would that book promise? What would that book talk about? What would that book include that would make people go, this one, not any of the others, this one? Yeah, but if everybody had a book that says, I can fix your problem, isn't that what all books in the self-help section say? I can fix your problem. I help you. See, that's That's the thing is that's what everyone's saying. Do you believe that? If I just walked around on the internet and said, hey, I can help you. Like with what? You know? Notice some people are struggling even with this. Just saying, I don't know. What if you did know? Obviously you don't know, because if you knew, you wouldn't have come here. But we're here to come and figure it out. The only way that you guys are going to really figure out your niche is one thing, that I am asking you better questions than you've been asking yourself. So I won't accept I don't know as answers, because then you're just not doing the work. You guys get that, right? I don't know is lazy thinking. I know, I'm such a jerk. You know, I don't know just means I give up. But I already told you you do know. So some people aren't really paying attention. Because I said to continue in this training, you have to come from the context that you know your niche. But then we say, I don't know. But you do know. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. So we're just going to continue to ask questions, and you're going to get out of your head, into your heart, get out of the way, and start to notice what comes up for you. And I'm going to continue to do this with you. We're going to continue to do this work. And it's okay if it doesn't come right now. Now, watch this. You know the section. You guys, most of you got, I know what category I'm in. That's great, okay? That's a huge first step for everyone. Now, if you are still not having clarity on this next answer of what would it say on your book? What would the topic be? What would it need to say specifically to have someone go, that one's for me? Blur it a little bit. What is the essence of it? See, everyone's trying to hit the home run and get the perfectly worded thing. Give me a general idea. Give yourself a general idea. We're going to get more specific, but just what's the essence of what makes yours more specific? Who is that? Uh-oh. Okay. And just write that down for yourself. Let me just get some things up. Sorry, guys. I want to introduce you to the mega markets. This is a good rule of thumb. It helps a lot of people. It doesn't have to be perfect or whatever, but most digital products that have been successful have fallen into one of these. The first three are the mega markets, which is anything related to love and connection, sex, anything related to health, nutrition, weight loss, energy, fitness, and anything related to money. If you're tapping into one of those three, these are like the big three in people's lives. Okay. People want connection. They want to look good and feel good. And they want money. Okay. Then of course, there are passions that are usually linked to those, but they are, things that people do. Like there's a lot of golfers that pay big money to learn how to, increase their drive or take a few, swings off their game or whatever, right? But passions that people will invest in and pay for. How to train your pet, how to train your dog. I wrote personal development on there. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, maybe I did on another slide. personal development, spiritual development, but even these, for a lot of people, like personal development will link back to this. Like people will take personal development so they can like grow their business and stuff, right? So important to know those and see where yours falls in. Okay, so we're gonna do another exercise really quickly. Some people have asked, so just write down how many, like, okay, I have a couple of ideas for an itch. Write down how many ideas you feel like you have, just the number in the chat box with me. So Jill's got 2, you got 4, we got 3, 5, 10,000, 6, 5, 10. Okay, great. So here's the exercise. This is great as you guys are doing that. Some of you are counting, you're like running out of fingers. 333. Hey, just one. So if it's more than one, okay, here's what we're gonna do next. This is a fun little exercise because anybody who's in there saying, how do I know which one to choose? Or at least begin to move in the direction of just one of those, this is gonna help. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Fresh new piece of paper. I just want you to list out, I mean, you can do more than 5 if you want. And don't worry if it's vague and all that stuff. We're gonna get into all that. But we wanna, you don't work on 5 simultaneously. You wanna work on 1 at a time, right? We can work through 1, but if we're trying to do it, the exercises for 5 different niches moving forward, it's gonna be really big. So take a moment, write these all down on a piece of paper. Even if it's 2, obviously for people that wrote 10,000, just write your top 5. In any way that resonates with you, Linda. Anything that will give you the meaning that you know what it is. This is only for you. So it's just kind of a reference point for you.
Ah.
Emily, you are unmuted. Please mute yourself. Emily Denton, you're unmuted. Okay, just give me a Y in the chat box when you've done that so you have them written down all in front of you. You guys are awesome. You need like another few seconds to just finish that up. Cool. So here's what you guys are gonna do. You guys know the difference between being in your head versus being in your body, right? You guys already start to tell when you're overthinking things, when you're trying to analyze everything to death. And remember, I said earlier, where's the answer? Is it in your head or is it in your heart? Yeah. So, you know, when we're in our hearts a little bit, when we're going back to that like youthful, playful imagination, we're not taking things so seriously. We're not making such a big deal out of things. So stop taking all this, you know, like I take this very seriously because it's like, you know, I really want to help people, but at the same time, I don't take it all that too seriously. Like I make fun of myself. I make a bunch of jokes. We have fun, right? This doesn't need to be some life or death thing. So bring back some of that like childlike wonderment. I want you to just play a game with me, just humor me. And the only way you're going to be able to be successful at this is if you stay out of your head. Because where did I say the answer is? It's in your heart. And the quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions you ask. So here it is. You're going to look at what you wrote down. You don't even have to look at your screen. Just look at what you wrote down. Look at your answers. Kind of look them up and down. Look at what came out of that pen. Look what came out of your head. Look at it. Whether it's 2 or 10, whatever, just kind of scan them. And I want you to suspend disbelief for a moment. I want you to pretend, if we remember what pretending was, pretend that each and every one of those things was equally successful, guaranteed successful. All of them were successful. All of them worked. They all worked. They all got you everything you wanted. From that space of knowing that each of these were successful, circle the 1 or 2 that you would do knowing that they will all work out. circle the 1 or 2. Maybe it's only 1, maybe it's 2 or 3, but let's start to narrow this down. The ones that your heart are telling you, this is what I want to do because I want to do it. And this is the one that's popping off the page. If you notice one's highlighting itself, like stepping out, like off the page to you, note that. And then of course, note that the moment that you highlight or circle it, you're going back into your head and you have that logical story analyzing. Yeah, but that's not going to make money, or yeah, but I'm not the expert in that yet, or yeah, but okay. But I'm asking you just to play. Remember, nothing in life is these. I know we say the word decide, like we cut off all options, but you can choose again later. I'm not the bartender guy anymore. All right. But what's the one that's just calling to you? What's the one that feels like the one you want to do? Okay, did you guys all do that? Just let me know. Oh, it's a bug. Just dropped down on me. Sweet. Okay, sweet. Let me know. That's awesome, Kimberly. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, give me guys an update. Just was that helpful for anyone else? Kimberly, Linda said, wow, not exactly what I thought it would be. So by the way, you guys can do this. It's like anytime you want. And that's okay if you're on 2 right now. Super helpful, really helpful, incredibly freeing. Okay, so I know it's kind of funny to say it, but like, have we ever really said, oh, you know, the biggest mistake I made in my life was following my heart? Has that really ever been anybody's advice? You know, don't follow your heart. You know, don't listen to your gut. Don't trust your intuition. Right? Or is it, I overthought it again. I got in my head. Right? My brain's playing tricks on me. Okay? So it's really easy to do this exercise and have an answer come. Where this gets hard is trusting that answer. That takes a lot of faith and it takes a lot of courage. So we've spent most of our lives in our head overthinking and then learned how to be great thinkers and analyzers and overthinkers and worriers. So it takes a lot for anybody to trust and have some faith in what came up for you. Yeah, Jenny, it's great. Feel frustrated. That's okay. That frustration is just, what's on the other side of that frustration is this is just such a desire for you. Like you wouldn't be frustrated about something you didn't care about. So the only reason you're frustrated is because this is something you really care about. This is a big desire for you. So the desire, the manifestation has already been set in motion. Now it's our job to release it, allow, and to trust. And so if you knew you were going to nail your niche, think about that for a moment, guys. I know I get weird and woo-woo on you guys all the time, but it's because the ish works. The truth is, if each and every one of you knew here without a shadow of a doubt that you would nail your niche, you wouldn't need to be frustrated at all. If you knew it, if your future self came to you and said, hey, you'll know it by tomorrow when you wake up, you'd be like, oh, okay, so I got nothing to worry about. Belief, right? So, something to think about. Some exercises will work and resonate with people and others won't, and then whatever. So that's why I do several exercises, and this is not the only one. But what this should do is at least limit it from 10 to like 3, 2, maybe 1, and you can try again. You can also, by the way, here's a fun little thing. I'll let somebody try this. We're going to move on, but I'll let you guys try this if you want. You know how to connect with your higher self. Now you can just ask your higher self. Is it in my highest good to focus on X, Y, Z? But trust, faith, that takes a lot of courage. So Scratch and Sniff, great name. Don't worry about like, how do I say it and getting it specific and all that type of stuff. That's what's coming next. But what I said before is you can't really do all that if you're trying to do it for like 3 different directions. So there's a lot of people that come to this call and they're like, I think I want to help people lose weight, but I also have a lot to teach people around financial advice and relationships. So what do I choose, right? So we at least want to get the direction that we're going in, okay? That's what we're looking for. All right. So this is Mel Abraham's value articulator statement. Mel has been here on the call. I don't know if he's still here. Am I
allowed to unmute and bother you? Yeah, I am.
You're here. He's here. So Mel is one of my closest friends. He teaches this with his students brilliantly, masterfully. And Mel does a lot of extraordinary stuff for entrepreneurs, including one of his niches that's amazing is helping entrepreneurs create wealth in their life. And he's helped me tremendously. That's why, oh my gosh, I think we've added, 150,000+ to our investment portfolio. I've invested into properties just from knowing Mel. So this is something he teaches, and I'm going to go through this really quickly. And this is what can help people. So now you kind of have like, okay, I'm just going to focus on this one thing because that's what my heart told me. I'm going to give you some structure to that. And we're going to work through this structure. And I'm going to say this with a huge disclaimer. Some of you still, I can notice from your comments, you still get stuck and you go back in your head. I'm not figuring this out. I'm frustrated. I don't have to you just gotta like kind of ease up on it a little bit, because things are messy and uncomfortable and challenging until they're not. But all of this work is supposed to bring that stuff up. So the quicker we can just be like, this is just part of the process. Art is messy. So is marketing. It's a really messy process. And if we want everything in our life to just be handed to us like in a little perfect bow, we're going to be really disappointed a lot, right? So this is going to help. You don't need to do this perfectly, but it will help some people. Don't let it confuse you or make it worse. But it's going to help bring some structure to this now. So this is Mel's thing, and I'll explain it in a quick version, then I'll check in with Mel to see if he's got anything to add. So the value articulator statement is like the whole niche package. So like if you bumped into somebody on an elevator and they're like, what do you do? You can tell them, and you can use this statement. This doesn't mean this is what your sales page says. It could be what's on your Instagram bio, but it's more a starting place. It's the epicenter of where everything springs forth from. So don't worry too much like, where do I put this? Don't worry about that. This could just be for you so that you know what you do, okay? So I help blank. This is the people that you help. I help blank. Do what? What do they do? So that result. Transformation, outcome. Unlike alternatives, because of, and this is your unique distinction. I think that's all I have. I might have an example on this page. I think, wasn't this yours, Mel? Did I put yours on the screen?
Yeah, that one's mine at the bottom. Yeah.
I help experts, online experts, position themselves as difference makers so they have more income, impact, and freedom. Unlike many focused on marketing only, we build it through compelling content, powerful delivery, and influential positioning. Now, that's this fully fleshed out value articulator statement. Again, this is an exercise to help you know what we should focus on, but it's really easy. This will help some people, and then it's going to confuse other people. So don't get confused by it, because I can also go to Mel and people say, well, what does Mel do? And Mel really has 2 niches. And one of his is he helps people turn the content and knowledge in their head into a framework that people can follow to completion so they can get more results. Right? It's the same thing. It's just simple. Oh, Mel helps people create frameworks out of their content. Mel helps people turn all that knowledge in their head into something that people can actually go through and consume. So you can say it multiple ways, and there isn't just one right way necessarily. But these are the things we want to start looking at. Is this like your why? No, I don't think so. I'm, you know, no. Here's the thing. I really don't resonate with the why thing, because everyone's why can be really different. There's a lot of people that start a business because they want to make money and they want to quit their job. No one else cares about that. So until your true, authentic why is something beyond you, then the why can be irrelevant. For me, when I got started, I wasn't like, my why is I just want to transform people into bartenders all over the planet to help more people get drunk, you know, helping people drink more. No, it was just, I want to get paid. That was my why. And that's fine. That's where people are at. That's where they're at. So Mel, I just want to, I want to check in with you and see if you have anything to add or offer. It's okay if you don't, if I did a great job here. With your value articulator statement that has helped your students and clients go through this and nail it.
I think you did. I think actually the last part of it, realizing that this is an exercise and not necessarily something that, oh, I got to say it this way. It's not a script. What it is an exercise that will capture the most valuable pieces of an elevator pitch, a unique selling proposition, and a value proposition, all in a succinct statement. And it forces us to get rid of all the fat. And then you can take it from there and kind of free dance with it and everything. But I think that was the thing that I was struggling with when I came up with this, and saying, how do I do this where they really get what I do in a quick way? So no, I think you did a great job.
Thanks, man. Thank you for sharing this. Can we all just say thank you to Mel for sharing this? This is his stuff, man. It's really great. Thanks, Melvin. Mel is short for Melvin. He hates me.
You could have left that out.
I could have left that out. So don't worry about the specifics, guys. We're going to get into all that. Don't you guys worry. We got so much more to cover. You guys just relax. I am going to give you guys a break in a second. So now is a good time to take a break. We'll give you guys a few minutes because I'll probably take a break here in a second. But right now, I want you guys to practice this. And what Mel talked about, the last one, the distinction, here's what's going to help you nail the last one. What is wrong with my market? What is missing with my market? When you look at competitors, what is it that they're doing wrong? What is it that you don't like? What is it that your potential, what is it that customers don't like? It's a real massive opportunity, okay? Team one, we're super disappointed you removed me from this event 20 minutes ago. Super disappointed. If you were removed, why was it? Because you're unmuting yourself. I don't know how long this is gonna go. At least another hour, but I got a lot more to cover. But Susan, you're absolutely more than welcome to get a refund if it's unhappy, but it's all good. So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes, take a restroom break, relax, practice this, mute or boot, that's right. If you wanna post them in too, I'll read a few of them. And then if you have some questions, we'll do a few minutes of questions on this. And then we'll get back to it. So right now I have 106. We'll come back at 1:11 my time. So that's 5 minutes from now. Jilly, are you still on? Will you unmute yourself if you are? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna have you take over while I use the restroom as well.
Okay,
And
no
then we'll
problem.
wrap up in a few minutes. Thanks, Jilly. Thank you for everyone who's practicing, posting in the group. I'm just reading through these. Really awesome. Some of these are really good, you guys. I'm proud of you. We'll be starting back up in about 60 seconds. And yeah, Julie mentioned it. A few people have been asking. You guys get lifetime access to these recordings and the recordings from last year. So you guys can go back, you can view it 1,000,000 times. You could leave if you wanted to. You guys will get access to this. Usually takes my team about 48 hours to get the replays back up and in the portal. Jasmine said, are we getting answers to James's Gmail account? I don't have a Gmail account, so I don't have an email. That'll be so freeing for you guys when you get off the email. You guys still on email? Yeah, I don't do email. You'll become so much more productive in your life and your business when you stop with email. What? Yeah, why'd I get off email? Because it's unproductive. Yeah, and Lindsay's like, I can't stand email. Did someone do email for you? No. I mean, we have a customer support. But no, you really, You really don't need email. I'm trying to work with somebody. We just get on the phone. It's crazy. Like tools get developed. People get excited about the tools, so they use them. And it's like, you know, just talking to someone, like even just getting on a Zoom, you know, or on the phone. Can you do a masterclass on how to get off email? That'd be so funny. Yeah, it'd be like 10 minutes. Like, just stop replying. Just stop replying and watch what happens. Like, people stop. Like, look, I'm gonna go on a rant for a second, but if you guys want to be more productive in your life, because we're very productive. My buddy, who's one of our coaches, Mark Bailey, is here. You guys know Mark? Mark Bailey. And he's here. He was here for a week, and he left for 4 days, and he came back. And I was updating him on, I was like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Like, here's what we've been doing. And he was like, jaw dropped. He's like, holy crap, how did you get so much done in the last 4 days? And like, because I don't waste time. That's why I can do a call and hang out with you guys for hours, because there's nothing else I'm doing. If I was busy doing emails, I'd be like, sorry guys, I got to get back to my email. And one of the first things to understand is when you start talking about energy and the law of attraction, what do you think work attracts? When you focus on a to-do list, Catherine's in here. I know there's a lot of Catherine peeps here. When you focus on a to-do list, what do you attract? More things to do. Work begets work. So what happens when you answer all your emails? You're like, how many of you have done that? You're like, yes, I got all caught up. All my emails, inbox 0. And then you refresh the next day and it's all the replies to your freaking emails, right? Every email you send out is gonna have most likely a reply to it. So we create so much unnecessary work in our lives. Let's not attract work. Let's attract results. Let's attract outcomes. Yeah, so when we're talking about email, we're talking about James having a personal email. We still use email, like we send out an email newsletter. We have a customer support that you can email, but James, as a human being, as himself, doesn't go, let's check my email today. Yeah, you can still email customer success. Yeah, it's personal email. Yeah. All right, you guys. Gave you a few extra minutes there. How are we feeling, by the way? Uh-oh, someone's unmuted. Unmuted, muted. Claire, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good, awesome. Yeah, still need articulation, absolutely. But for a lot of you, are you starting to feel like you're making some sort of progress? It's okay if you're not, right? But can you guys let me know you feel like you're making some progress? Like, hey, I'm going in the right direction. Like, no, I want this to be absolute instant magic wand. Okay. Well, I do too. Yeah. It needs to be cleaned up. Yeah, there's some progress. That's cool. I love it. But there is clarity coming. That's beautiful. So let's continue. Again, I want us to keep asking this question. You don't have to type it in again, but really saying, what is preventing me? And some of you are starting to say, you know what, it's just about getting more specific. I just need to get more specific. I just need to choose the right words. That's awesome. That's it. Is that all that stands in the way from you and the millions that are yours? It's just a little bit of specificity. Well, don't worry. I'll feed you, baby birds. I'll feed you. We got so much more to cover. I'm excited. I hope you guys are. Okay? All right. Here's one thing, though. I talked about this, so we're not going to spend too much time, but this is actually really near and dear to me. If this is still active for you in your vibration, that I just don't think there is a niche for me, type in a 1. I don't think I have something like this. There is no niche for me. This would be hard for some people to admit, but if that's you, type in a 1 just so I know how much time we can spend on this. Like, I just don't think there isn't going to be a niche for me at the end of this. It doesn't exist in the world. Okay, cool, awesome. I used to think the same thing, guys. Like, I used to think I was so pathetic and worthless that how could I possibly have something to help other people with. So some people asked about this earlier, the law of Dharma. Who's heard of the law of Dharma? Type in a D. Let's keep it as engaged as you can. Law of Dharma is a law, like law of gravity. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you don't believe it. You don't have to believe in gravity either. Just don't walk off a cliff. Because you know what's going to happen. It's still going to work. Law of Dharma is as simple as saying that every human being that's alive, as you check your pulse, if you can hear me right now, you're alive. And that means that every human being alive, including you, has a unique talent, has something unique. Okay, just going to move my question box. It's a big slide. A lot I want to read to you. It's so unique that there's no one else alive on the planet that has the talent or the expression of that talent, or rather carries with it the unique energy signature that you and you alone can provide, just like a fingerprint, like a snowflake. So you don't have to believe this, but like I said, you don't have to believe in gravity too, but it's true. So it does exist, and I believe we spend so much of our life looking for it, and then of course, as soon as we find it, we go to work giving that away. But the law of Dharma is a real law, so that means there is one thing that you can do and a way of doing it that's better than anyone else on the entire planet. That's awesome. You might not know what it is yet still, but it's still there. Okay, so everyone who typed in a 1, I just want you to know that. Okay? And then you got to ask yourself this important question. If you're here listening, is this something you want to do? Like, do you want a niche? Do you want to be a coach? Do you want to sell digital products? If it's a yes, and it's your yes, not your parents' yes, not your spouse's yes, not a friend's yes, your yes. Yes, I want to do this. Any desire that was born within you, if it was born from within you, that means you already have everything you need to do, need within you to turn that into a reality. When you understand this, life becomes so exciting. You can't have, it is law, you can't have a desire that you truly want that you don't already have the raw talent, potential, and resources to turn that desire into a reality. So people tend to scoff at when our parents said, you can do anything you set your mind to. People say, oh yeah, really? Can I play in the NBA? I'm only 5 foot. Well, do you truly in your heart want to play in the NBA? No, I'm just giving you an example. Exactly. You see, that desire born within you isn't like a desire like, I feel like popcorn. I feel like Netflix. Like those are just like, I feel like these little sensations right now. That true desire isn't just a I feel like it. That's the GPS of your soul nudging you. So even if you could answer yes to that, and that means there is something for you. And not everyone, and I'm not saying everyone on the planet can go create a digital product, but not everyone on the planet is on this call. Not everyone on the planet has the desire enough that they're willing to invest and figure this out. So let that investment, that commitment, and that decision to be here and do what it took to be here be enough to prove that that desire is a real desire born within you. And if it's born within you, it means that you already have everything you need to turn that desire into reality. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to, but I don't know how it serves you other than keeping you safe, which we already addressed that one, didn't we? So the only reason a niche wouldn't exist for you is because you have forgotten how powerful you are and that you created a reality that a niche doesn't exist for you because you chose to believe that one doesn't. Because you get what you think about, even if you don't want it. You know, I had a really hard time going to in high school and college because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I really beat myself up about that. Just like some of you guys might be beating yourself up that you don't know your niche. And all my friends were going off to college and they had these special, I'm going to be an architect. I'm going to be a lawyer. Even one guy was like, I'm just going to be a professional chef. I'm going to go to culinary school. They all knew what they wanted to do and I didn't. I really beat myself up for that. And then one day, years later, it's about 2015. So I'm like 28, 29, 11 years later. And I know where I was standing. I was in my car. So I was sitting at a stoplight at St. Anne's in Glen Eyrie in Laguna Beach, and it hit me like a ton of effing bricks. I'm like, you dummy, what you're doing today, which you love, wasn't even invented then. It wasn't even invented. I was teaching YouTube and video and making videos and teaching people how to make videos. There was no online video in 1998. There was the internet, the dial-up internet was like just like, hey, now we've got a faster dial-up. I mean, that's the kind of times we were in back then. There was no YouTube. YouTube came out by 2006. So here I was doing this thing that I was loving and just like, this is my niche, this is my passion, this is my purpose, I'm doing it. And years earlier, just beating myself up because I didn't know what I wanted to do. How would you ever know what you want to do? It hasn't been invented yet. And you want to consider that. You want to consider that maybe what you're going through right now is preparing you for something that's to come. Look at all the new industries and niches and technology that has come out just in the past few years. We have one client who teaches cryptocurrency. People weren't, even though Bitcoin's been around a long time, people weren't talking about cryptocurrency more than 3 years ago, So when we immediately like shut ourselves down like that, you miss opportunities. But there's so much newness, and it's really about staying in the frequency of receiving and being able to catch it when you spot it. So for some of you, your niche might just be being created right now. That's awesome. Are you ready for it? That doesn't mean sit on the sidelines and do nothing, because as I'll teach you time and time again, action creates clarity, okay? Otherwise, what's the benefit of saying there is no niche for me? Keeps us safe. Okay, so here's another important thing. I'll just go over this really quickly. Most of you guys know this. Action creates clarity. This is a very powerful principle to operate from because most people are doing it backwards. They wait for clarity before they take action. So some of you here are overthinkers and you're perfectionists. That's okay. I used to be both. So, welcome to the club. But perfectionism is actually a survival strategy to avoid all that fear and judgment. If I make it perfect, which perfect is an illusion, there's no such thing as perfect. Perfect according to whom? If I make it perfect, then I never have to put it out there because it'll never be perfect. So I don't have to put it out there. If I don't put it out there, I don't get the ridicule. So if you're waiting for the clarity before you do it, how long are you going to be waiting, right? Is action that creates clarity. It's just focusing on that next step. What's that next step? And that will give me clarity. Contrast creates clarity. Action creates clarity. Action gives you the contrast, and it's the contrast that really gives you the clarity. But I like to say action creates clarity. And there's one of our students who actually said this. He got up on stage and talked about all of his success. And he said, look, at the end of the day, you can't move a parked car. Boy, ain't that the truth, right? So we got to get into action. So we're going to continue to get more specific, but this is just a reminder right now that your clarity and your answers are going to come when you're out there on the field, not sitting in stands thinking about it. You're going to put something out there and it's going to resonate or it's not going to resonate. That's going to give you more feedback. That feedback is going to give you more clarity. And it's going to say, this is what I'm going to do next. Okay. So keep that in mind. Let's go over a few more of these really quickly. 2 niche down means I'll lose out on sales and customers. Can I just get a 1 in the chat box from anyone that feels like that's you right now? If I niche down, I'm going to lose out on sales. It's a really common one. So if you typed in 1, the question we have to ask is, are you making a ton of sales right now? If you're making a lot of sales right now, being really broad, then if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? So chances are you're not, right? So what do you have to lose, right? So I said this since the beginning, but trying to be everything to everyone is actually what's limiting your customers because they're looking for specialization. All right, I already went over that, so I don't need to spend more time on this. And this is what we're going to get into. We're going to get into some practicing on specifics. That's what some people are really starting. How do I make this specific? So we're going to work on next. So don't worry, that's coming. Okay. I do want to say though, getting specific is going to start to feel uncomfortable. And I want to tell you that when you feel uncomfortable, that means you're on the right path. I know that sounds weird, but that's because you're bumping up against the resistance that it has to be broad. The only reason it's uncomfortable is because people are still holding on to the outdated limiting belief that I'm going to be limiting people if I make it specific. And so then when we push it to be specific, it feels uncomfortable because it's two ideas, two beliefs that don't go together. Okay. But it's the difference of being like, you know, and I don't want to use gun analogies, but it helps for this metaphor, like a machine gun that's just blasting everywhere versus a sniper rifle. How many bullets do you have to use in a machine gun to get the job done versus a sniper rifle? Okay. I'm not a gun person, but it kind of helps for this metaphor. Just one bullet, the sniper rifle. Why? Specificity on the target, right? You just got one thing you got to target. Okay. All right. But yes, that's when people say, that's what I need, right? So let's give an example. Which one's more desirable, grow your business or your first $1,000 online? Good, Roxanda. Yes, love the discomfort. Now, Caroline would only say grow your business because she's already made $1,000 online or she wants to do something else, right? But if someone hasn't made any money, grow your business or make your first 1,000 online, right? Which one's more specific, right? Who's gone through our first 100 leads training? Type in a 1 or a Y. We had over 16,000 people go through that training. It's converting, the opt-in page is converting over 65%. Why? And if we have time, I can show you the landing page. It's so specific. I'm going to help you get your first 100 leads. Thank you, Dan. All right, which one do you want? Business secrets or high ticket phone sales secrets? I mean, you don't have to use the word secrets, but I'm just kind of playing around with it, right? Which one's more desirable? You want to learn business secrets? I mean, do you really want to learn business secrets or do you just want to like make 100K a month, right? So these are simplistic examples, but they're there to kind of prove a point, okay? So we're gonna play a game, another exercise called Make Me Specific, all right? Make me specific. So we're gonna start with a who. Like I help who specifically. So this is gonna be, I cannot stress this enough, guys, this one word is gonna be the most powerful word that you use, not in your copy, but to write copy. Specificity. Anytime you write a sentence, you can drill down and say, well, who specifically? Well, how specifically? What specifically? And you're gonna get so much better copy using that one tool. And those who have struggled to write copy, when you start practicing, you'll see how valuable just that alone is, okay? So, let's see how good you guys are already. Mothers, make me more specific. Go ahead, you can put it in the chat box. Single mothers, very good. Nursing moms, burnt out single moms. Women, moms under 30, tired moms, stay-at-home moms. Mommy bloggers, older moms, business, entrepreneurial moms, yeah. Mompreneurs, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then the question is, can you make, well, humans. Humans isn't that specific. Then you could even look at what you wrote and say, could I even make that more specific? Divorcing moms, that's really good, divorce moms. First-time moms with newborns that can't sleep through the night. I mean, I'm already going into the problem, the how, but that's some specificity. That's all you need, right? Now, there's some of these I'm going to challenge, okay? Like Gretchen said, creative women. It's just really going to depend on what you mean by creative. Because, and I won't go into it too much, but if there's like just the adjective of like, are you creative? That's not relevant, right? Because it's most likely not going to be relevant. But if it's someone who identifies as a creative, like I have a creative business, like I sell stuff on Etsy, that is relative. Okay. But, you know, it's not, we're going to talk about this in a moment about the difference between a niche and an avatar, because I think this is where people get really screwed up with it. You don't actually need to get into all these specifics about like in your niche. Like I help women with 2 kids grow their business. It's like, well, why does it really make a difference if they have 1 kid or 3 kids or 2.5 kids or 1 kid and 4 dogs? It's not going to be that much different, right? And that's a big concern I see is a lot of people are, and we'll talk about this more, but a lot of people are creating a niche that's an unnecessary niche, right? Like even age range is really unnecessary unless it's relative to the topic. For example, if you are helping, you know, teens get into college admissions, like I help juniors and seniors prepare for college. Well, that's relevant, you know, because then a freshman and sophomore would be like, oh no, we're not ready for that or whatever, right? But you just have to ask, if I'm going to get really specific, is it relevant specificity? And we'll have more examples of that, okay? Give me one for, well, Jessica, is women too broad? Yes, but it also depends on what the problem is you're solving. So it depends on all of it. Okay, so, you know, there needs to be specificity somewhere, okay? Entrepreneurs, give me some specificity for entrepreneurs. So even saying struggling, frustrated, and burnt out is not specific. Believe it or not, that is not a niche. It's not specific enough. When you're talking about an entrepreneur, you want to ask what type of entrepreneur specifically. Like, who do they identify with? We're getting into identity. What do I identify with? So here's the example. How many of you here on this call are Amazon sellers and that's what you identify with? Type in a me. It's like 3 of you guys, right? There's 400 on the call still. And it's like 3 of you, right? So if I started saying, if you want to scale your Amazon business, how many of you guys are going to resonate with that? And if I just say, hey, you want to scale your business, right? So what type of entrepreneur, what type of business? So what did I write here? Real estate investors who want to start the first Airbnb. That's me. I chose one that I'm in the niche of. I'm a customer. I think I've purchased, 3 and almost my 4th. Nope, already 4 and on to my 5th. I just forgot about one real estate investment online program. Digital creators, I just get a little bit more specific by, you know, what you mean by digital creator, but yeah, you're getting there. Adjectives like ambitious entrepreneurs, like this is great. We learned through these examples, guys. So someone said ambitious entrepreneurs. Well, can you show me an entrepreneur out there that doesn't want to identify as being an ambitious entrepreneur? Like, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, you're looking for ambitious entrepreneurs? That's not me. See, a lot of these are adjectives that are just compliments that people all want to. Is there anybody here in this room that doesn't want to be identified as ambitious? Like if I ask you guys, are you ambitious? You say no. Would you like to be ambitious, right? So they're just nebulous descriptor words that just kind of are like almost like compliments. This is really important stuff because you're sitting there going, I work with ambitious entrepreneurs. That doesn't narrow you down at all. But if you say, I work with Amazon sellers that want to get their first product online and make their first $1,000 a month, which one's more specific? Ambitious entrepreneurs or first $1,000 on Amazon? So you guys are just using, like driven is the same, that's just a synonym, right? No entrepreneur is going to say, I'm an undriven entrepreneur. It needs to be something that is a label that is not an opinion. Don't look for opinions and compliments in your niching down. Like, you're very driven, you're very nice. I look for, you know, you're friendly. I help friendly entrepreneurs. You know, your energy and your message will attract your tribe. Okay. So, you know, you don't need to worry about that stuff here. Yeah. Wellness entrepreneurs, e-commerce entrepreneurs. Most people think they're smart. Most people don't acknowledge they're not being smart if they're not, you know. It is hard. That's great. This is good. Yeah, course creators. Even business leaders, I would get even more specific. What's a business leader look like? Successful entrepreneurs is too broad. That's just, you're just giving another adjective. Nicole, you're unmuted. Hurry quickly. Mute yourself, Nicole. Women, single women, looking to find a husband, settle down, right? I did that one, sorry. What's another way you could get specific with just women? I don't know about insecure women. I mean, it's, if you said, I mean, I would actually make that more the problem that you're solving versus the identity. Are you an insecure woman? Versus like, maybe it's solving insecurity in a marriage. Are you a married woman that's struggling with insecurity in the bedroom? Okay, that's far more than saying, are you an insecure woman? That's gonna be far more effective. Jeff, you're unmuted. All right, guys, I'm gonna start booting people again. If you keep unmuting yourself. Yeah, women who want a promotion at work. There you go, that's great, that's very specific. And you could even start to talk about what type of works. Corporate women looking for a promotion. This is really good, guys. Really good. Specificity. It's as simple as saying who specifically, how specifically. Holistic healers is very specific. That's a label. Someone, are you a holistic healer? Yes. No. Great. And it is what it is. It's not something that's like an opinion. It's very important. Okay. Let's see. I got more. Okay. Here's kind of like more of the process, like the how. Okay, we already gave some examples here, but give me a better, is grow your business specific? What kind of business? How? How much? Exactly, 100 leads. Does anyone out there really think that they would have a successful Facebook ad if they said, I'll help you grow your business, click here to grow your business? Oh, finally, someone out there to teach me how to grow my, I've been looking high and low. That's good. First 10 clients, make 5K a month, service-based. I like service-based businesses, yeah. Actually be careful too with like aligning business, just like people not knowing what that means. So sometimes we use words that our audience, you gotta really be clear. Do they already know what this means? Most people won't. That's kind of speaking to the process. We're going to get to that. So this was mine. I got first 100 leads on there with YouTube. How to reach more people with YouTube. Actually, my thing was how to get your your marketing videos ranked at the top of Google and YouTube so you can get more exposure. Yeah, getting some good ones in here, guys. All right, give me some specificity for finding love. I help you find love. See if you can make that more specific. Attract your soulmate. That's great. Find love with your dog, Tiffany. Find love without fear. I mean, I guess it's specific, but I think you can get better. Love after divorce. Oh, that's a great one. And I gave my get your ex back, which is a real niche. There you go. Find love by changing the energy of your space. Yeah. So the process specifically is like feng shui for a specific transformation of finding love. Beautiful. That's a niche. You can just take that and run with it. Boom. Bye. You're good. I mean, you guys have shared a lot of great ones, so, but that was a great one too. Okay. How can you make losing weight more specific? See, it's always easier when it's someone else's niche, right? It's only our own stuff. Why? Because we have our own blockages around it, but we've cleared those. Don't worry. That's been cleared. Yeah. Lose those last 10 pounds, lose weight for better sex. Woo. It's getting hot in here. How to drop those last 20 pounds. 20 pounds a month, see your toes again, lose weight without dieting. That's good, right? For me, I just wrote keto diet. You know, that's a very specific vehicle. How specifically? By using the keto diet. I'm on ketosis right now, bro. How about losing the weight before your wedding? Without eating avocados? No way. Why would I cut out my avocados? That's the best part. Lose the quarantine weight. Yes. Yeah, after the baby. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, lose weight for women struggling with anxiety. Fit into the wedding. Just look at this. So remember, what do we do when a market is oversaturated? We realize oversaturation is an illusion because oversaturation is operating from lack, and lack is an illusion, right? So it just means it's a sophisticated market, and if it's sophisticated, we just got to get more specific. That's all it is, guys. Lose weight after chronic fatigue syndrome. I mean, these are very specific. This is beautiful. Balancing your hormones. Oh my goodness, yes. And Gretchen said, navigating the transition from COVID to normal. What transition? Is it a financial transition? Is it a health transition? Is it a weight loss transition? Is it a habits? You know, get specific on what transition. Don't everything, all things. No, it's too broad. You know, how to transition your finances or how to transition your family. Okay, now we're specific. Really good. Weight loss for caregivers. Okay, lose the breakup weight. I love it. You guys are great. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this really quickly. Is there anybody, yeah, I mean, Gretchen, even just raising your vibration, that's always a great one. Love it. Can we do one for mindset? Oh yeah, we'll do one for mindset. I'm going to kick mindset's butt here in a second. There's too many people going around saying they're a mindset coach and then wondering why they're not getting any clients. We'll get to that. So much to cover. I don't want to niche down. Because it's something I can't promise. Type in a 1. You guys are already doing that, so thank you. Who's still there right now? Like, this is where you're at right now. This is going to hold a lot of people back, guys. Okay. Marianne, please mute yourself. Okay, guys. Gina, it could be. I think it would be really, I wonder if you could do something like attracting, like almost like attracting a spiritual man, like someone who understands spirituality or something like that. I don't know, maybe an idea. But even just like attracting, yeah, using like spirituality to attract love. It's good too. Okay, guys. So a lot of people typed in 1. This is a big one. I'd like you to consider that if we hold on to this and you typed in 1, I can talk all day to you, but this is going to keep people stuck if we continue to operate from this place. Okay. This is a big one. So let's first of all look at the definition of a promise: declaration or assurance that one will do a particular thing. Right. And when you are creating something, you are not promising the outcome. Who is responsible for my life? Let me know in the chat box. Who's responsible for my life? Exactly. No, can I make you guys responsible? Some of you guys said me. Andrea, you're unmuted. Who's responsible for your life? Exactly. So who created everything in your life? Now you can always point the finger and blame. That's fine. That's easy. Anybody can do that. Anybody can say, yeah, you don't understand. My parents are this, my president this, my government that, my economy that, my competitors this, my boss that. And that's, you know, that's easy. Anybody can do that. That's what most people do. Takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of something to take full responsibility for your life. So you're responsible for your life. I'm responsible for my life. So who's responsible for your customers' lives? They are. So why do we think we have to take on the responsibility of someone else's life just because they give us money? Why do we feel like we're responsible for them? Does that really help them? Any parents here? Any parents where you have teens or you know, children like that are over 10? Do you do your kids' homework for them? Why not? Some days. Maybe you help, but do you just say, no, honey, let me do this. You don't need to do this homework. I'll do it. Yeah, they need to learn it. Are you helping your kids by doing all their chores, their homework, taking their tests for them? No, you know that. You guys are all adults. Your customers are all adults. Okay? And they're creating their own lives. Like, I can just give you some tools, I can give you some exercise, but I told you from day one, I don't know your niche. I'm not gonna find it for you. You gotta do the work. Your people have to do the work too. What a gift that is. You know, think about that just for a moment. Like, what a gift it is for me to even say that and remind you of that again. It's like, this is your life. It's your business. Do you want me to find your niche? Do you want me to launch your program? Do you want me to do everything for you? Because then it's my success, not yours. See, we think we want someone to do it all for us, but then at the end of the day, you didn't do anything. It's my success, not yours. Why take that away from somebody? They don't want you to take that away from them. What a beautiful experience when you have the epiphany. What a beautiful moment when you go, oh my gosh, I just had a breakthrough. No, I'll just do it all for you. So, who's read Ramit Sethi's book or heard of it, I'll Teach You to Be Rich? It's been around for like a really long time now. I think he just like re-released it like a year ago or something, right? So, I've never read it. I have it. And I know Ramit personally. He's a great guy, great friend. Do you think everyone who's read that book is rich? Probably not. I mean, what a scam artist, right? Oh my gosh. But does that really mean he didn't fulfill on his promise? The promise wasn't, I guarantee by the last page of this book, you will have millions of dollars in your bank account. The promise was, I will teach you what I have learned on on the topic and the subject of how to be rich. The promise is to what you are teaching. And yeah, if you've never done it, and if you haven't helped anybody else do it, then just go help somebody else do it. And that's something that, like, I get a big gripe on, because people say, well, what if I don't have any testimonials? What if I haven't helped anybody? So what should we say to that? Hey, I really want to help people. I'll just use my selfish examples, because I'm setting up an Airbnb. We have like 2 months worth of bookings on one of our places already. I set it up 3 days ago. Hey, I want to help people set up their Airbnb, but I've never done it. Well, go do it, right? What do you say to the person? It's like, but I've done it for myself. Well, great, then you've done it for yourself. You know how to do it. And you can go teach somebody else that right now. That's it. But otherwise, exactly what Jess said, go get them. Go find somebody. Like right now, if I wanted to and I don't want to, I've learned so much, and then I've applied so much and learned even more from the last 6 months of doing this. I could legit go out there and really help a lot of people if they wanted to, like, yeah, I want to invest in Airbnb. I'm not going to do that. It's a great niche, but I know how to do that now. I've only been active for 3 days and I've already got 2 months worth of bookings. This is amazing. But in terms of picking the right property and, how to market it and all that, stuff like that, oh my gosh, I've learned so much. So you either got to do it or you got to start helping people do it. It's not like there are people like, I don't know, there's no one out there that needs help. Then we have another problem. Okay. So the promise is to the content. Okay. It's to the how-to. What people do with the how-to is out of your control. That's what the line is. There will be people, sadly, on this call, and that's okay. It is what it is. That will say, I still don't know my niche, and they will go take more courses on how to find their niche, thinking that it'll be in those courses. And they'll keep looking as if it's just magically going to be in the book saying, hello, John. Congratulations, you've made it to this point. Your niche is gardening, right? So when you know the line of where your stuff ends and their stuff begins, you're gonna have a lot more power in your life. Okay? Hello, John. All right, I hope that helps for you guys, okay? And then, of course, we'll go over this really quickly because I got some more cool stuff to share with you. I'm afraid we're going to pick the wrong niche. Who's that? I don't want to go in the wrong direction. I've got 2, James. I've narrowed it down to 2. I know you gave that exercise, follow your heart, but I'm in my head again, and there's still 2. So what do you think will happen if you choose the wrong niche? If you typed in one, we really want to, well, I don't want to define myself. That's what we said about putting ourselves in a box. A niche doesn't define you. Yeah, I'm going to waste time. That's a big thing, right? And so one of the biggest reasons why people won't choose a niche is because they're afraid they'll waste time. They'll waste energy. What do you think will happen if you never choose a niche? How much money are you leaving on the table? How much time are you already wasting? Remember, indecision is a decision. It's a decision to do nothing. And there is an effect or a consequence to that. It's really the only way that I can guarantee nothing will happen. I can't guarantee that anything will happen, good or bad, or what you want or not want, with whatever niche you take action on, but I can guarantee that no results will come out of choosing no niche, right? Might as well just give yourself permission because you can't move a parked car, to start moving in the wrong direction so that you can receive the clarity of getting in the right direction. And remember, it's not permanent. You can pivot, okay? Oh, by the way, this is a really important line. A lot of people think, well, in order to get my niche right, I got to build an entire business. I mean, like my website, my DBA, I got to get my logos, I got to get my photos done, I got to do all these things. So there's actually a lot of stuff that I have to do as soon as I make that decision. And so I don't want to create the wrong logo, the wrong branding, the web website. That's crazy. That's crazy pants. All you have to do is start saying, hey, value articulator statement, or hey, I help you with this. And we're doing this thing. And I'll talk about what the next step is once we know our niche. I mean, in Business by Design, we don't even teach websites or branding and all that type of stuff. You don't need that to get started. Crazy pants, right? You don't need that to get started. Exactly. Tiffany said I just started with the ugliest website. Okay, and then there's another one. This is so important, so we have to spend some time on this one. A lot of people are focusing on the how. What if that's my business? Then that's your business. That's not wrong. But someone doesn't need that to get started. That's great. We just got a whole $20,000 design and branding package. That's amazing. It's a great niche. But to tell someone they can't make $1 until they have $1 million branding is not true. Struggling entrepreneurs try to sell and they focus too much on the how process, especially coaches. Oh my gosh, who labels himself, like really identifies with being a coach or a healer? Oh my gosh, you guys focus so much on the process. It's called the curse of coaching. You focus so much on the process, they don't care about the process. If I told you that standing on your head for 10 minutes a day would make you $1 million, I wouldn't start calling myself the standing on your head expert. I would call myself the 7-figure business coach. But that's what people are doing. They're focusing on the process. But if your people knew the process, they really wouldn't need you. This is so important. This is one of the biggest things. So for example, I hear people say things like, I help women release their inner demons. That sounds really cool. But chances are, people aren't walking around saying, I just need to release my inner demons. Is there an inner demon antidote out there? Okay. So if this were you, we'd want to ask, for what purpose? For what purpose? So try it on an example. Like, let's say that's what you do. Why do you think it would be beneficial to have someone release an inner demon? Right? And Amanda said, so they can learn to love themselves. For what purpose? What does loving yourself give you? What's going to be challenging, and we're going to talk about tangibility, is a lot of the answers that are coming up. We got to be very careful with this, but depending on your audience, of course, and where they're at, a lot of these answers are really intangible. So let's do another one. All my mindset coaches. I help entrepreneurs change their mindset. Because they're just laying in bed there. Give me some mindset. I just need some mindset. Okay. That's the how. Right? So how much of today has been challenging some of the beliefs and stories and all kinds of interesting things around what? A specific, tangible transformation of walking away knowing your niche. So get some mindset, change your mindset, or nail your niche. Everything's mindset. So we're staying really broad and not saying anything at all, and we're not really speaking to what most people are looking for. But everything is mindset. So if that's you right now, that's okay. You want to ask, for what purpose? Why would we change someone's mindset? Why would we change this entrepreneur's mindset? For what purpose? And then Nicole said to increase confidence. So let's talk about confidence. Because confidence, some of you guys think you don't have confidence, right? They are doing a special on Amazon. 2 for 1. You can go to the confidence store. You all have access to infinite, all the confidence that you need within you right now. It's all within you, and it's a choice. And it is in a moment, you can feel 10 times the confidence you have right now. You don't feel unconfident when you go to the bathroom, do you? And if you do, don't tell me. You don't lack confidence when you brush your teeth in the morning. You all know what confidence is. You all have confidence. You can all access that confidence right now. So you need to ask yourself, what does that confidence give that person? People don't want confidence. They want what they think it gives them. Let me give you a perfect example. When we went into this relationship space years ago, they were products. We had a line of products for men on how to get in relationships. The product was how to attract women. What do you think we taught? Confidence. But the product wasn't how to have more confidence, dude. That's what we gave them. Just like some of you are starting to get more confidence and more clarity around what it is you do. But would you have purchased this program if it was a confidence masterclass or if it was nail your niche masterclass? What does confidence give them? In this case, confidence gave them the ability to approach a complete stranger and introduce themselves and say, hi, my name's Joe. And we tried copy around confidence. They didn't want it. So Tiffany said it earlier, but confidence is like, yeah, it's like the byproduct. What will confidence give them? We must, I mean, you don't have to, but I'm trying to make your guys' lives a lot easier. It's so much easier when you speak to a tangible transformation. Like they'll know it when they see it. Yeah, it's really good, Tiffany. See, Katie, you're getting there, but they don't need to reclaim their confidence because we're going to do something called the pill test. So we'll just do it right now. All right, Katie, so this is specifically for you. I want you to imagine that you're your ideal customer and I have 2 magic pills in my hand. This pill test is going to be so powerful for you guys really drilling down. So in one hand is a pill, magic pill, okay? If you took this pill, it'd give you more confidence, okay? But if you took this pill, you could manifest your dream career, or you could manifest one dream thing, your dream man, dream career, more money, whatever. So you can only have one pill. Your audience can only take one pill. What pill are they going to take? A pill that gives them more confidence, or the pill that manifests that dream man, that dream house, that dream car? And when you do the pill test, that's when you realize the one you didn't choose is also the one your audience isn't going to choose, because it speaks to the process and not the end result. What do they want? We'll go over this a little bit more because that's a very important one. No one cares about the how, especially the intangible one. They want the result. Here's how this works: the outcome, the transformation. So I already gave that question, but what will that do for them? Why do they need that? I asked this already. What does confidence do for them? So I think this is, if it's not next, I'm going to bring it next because this is what's coming up. Yeah, the pill test, but fill in, we'll go to this slide. Fill in that blank. People pay for, exactly, results. Okay, exactly. So it can be as simple as this. Again, I got more exercises, don't worry guys. So the point is try all these exercises on and start seeing what comes up for you. Someone's unmuted, please mute yourself. Deborah's unmuted. Deborah! Come on, Deb. All right, so I want you to imagine that your audience just got a genie in a lamp. Okay? Maybe you're their genie. And they can get any wish granted that they want. They can only grant one wish. They just have one wish. One wish. And no, it's not a million wishes. Ha ha ha. And no, it's not a million genies. Nice try. So what would they wish for? And remember, the genie's like, now, before you make your wish, it needs to be very what? Specific. I want you to really think about that and write that down. What would your ideal customer, what would their one specific wish be? Yeah, Diana, that's a really great one. Be free from anxiety. Make more money. But Jennifer, would they really say, I want to make more money, or would they make a specific wish? Yeah, oops, these are coming in fast now. Yeah, Yasmin, I'm going to challenge on the confidence thing. I mean, you can try it if you'd like, but I've seen it, and I just want you to avoid setbacks. If you ask somebody, you want confidence, what will that confidence give you? You are now speaking more to the transformation and the result. Again, you guys have to remember, if you haven't done it, you don't know it. Okay, living a life of abundance. That wouldn't be a very specific wish, but we're getting closer. How would they know, Katie, that they're living a life of abundance? Notice these questions I'm asking you guys. We got to get really specific on these. Hey, Piju, that's really great. 6-figure launch without the stress and overwhelm. Yeah, Sam, that's really great. And you can even find ways to be more specific. Like, how will they know when their business is successful? Jess, love it. Cami, it's great. Ashley, great. Body acceptance, great. Sell their art, great. Sell their art at premium prices without having to sell. I mean, yeah. 5,000 a month. Stand out from the crowd. Have a healthy dog. I don't know. Is it question mark? You tell me, Sarah. Conquer the fear of abandonment. I like that one. What becomes possible when they conquer that fear of abandonment? How much weight do they want to lose? Dana, become pregnant. That's beautiful. Book a national commercial. Very specific. Yeah. All right. You guys are starting to get some, some really specifics, and I'm really liking what you're putting down. Let's see. So again, I want you to I just want to go over the pill test really quickly again for you guys. Because if you're struggling with words, if you're struggling with the transformation, The transformation is always going to be the pill that they're going to take. Again, you have to suspend disbelief. You have to go, "Oh, are there side effects with this pill?" No, there's no side effects. This is all make-believe. But if they had a pill that could give them what they want, and then they had a pill that dealt with the process, which pill would they take? So you can just kind of put two things in each hand, or one in each hand, and you say which one you take. So why don't you guys post an example of one in the group, and I'll go. Which thought experiment is this based off? I have no idea. So someone give me two examples that we can do the pill test in. Like put both in one line here. Oh, good. Okay. Shannon, good. Shannon. Oh, shoot. People are now already so fast. Yeah. So pill one is, you guys tell me, learn how to create a vision or master the law of attraction. You guys can only take one pill. One's going to learn how to create a vision. The other one's going to master the law of attraction. Which one? Yeah, everyone's saying law of attraction. Okay, now watch this. You want to, I mean, that's pretty awesome right there, right? You can now play with another one. You can say, okay, is there a better pill that I can offer than that? Like, do people want to master law of attraction or what? Someone give me another one we can compare it to. Okay, well, yeah, these are two different offers now. Like, you want to master law of attraction or you want to manifest more money in your life. But you can only take one of those. And I know some of you guys are smart. It's like, whoa, if I learn master law of attraction, I can manifest everything, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, do you want to learn something? I understand this is a hard concept to get, but here's why we spend so much time on this. Most people are getting into business and they're thinking like a consumer and they're acting like an employee. And the mindset, there's that word, of a marketer is very different. We must begin to speak to the tangible result like they wave the magic wand. And I understand the implications. Like, yeah, and you could still make the promise, master law of attraction, but niching down for what purpose specifically. Yeah, there's a great one. Do you want to learn more video editing skills or have a profitable or six-figure video editing business? Because you can be a really good video editor, take that pill and be broke, right? Okay, these are great. Ella, get clarity on the vision of your life or love your work and life at the same time. Yeah, or even just get paid to be living your purpose, right? Oh, yeah, so you don't have to trust me, but I do invite you to try it on and just, and see. Okay, quit your job or find your passion. I mean, yeah, those are very similar, right? Quit your job to find your passion could be really cool. Nancy's saying, is it one answer per service product or one umbrella statement? I'm not sure I fully understand. All we use the pill test for is to really get clear, is this the thing that really speaks to the transformation, the outcome? For example, what is one of the big reasons why people have headaches? What's like a big cause of a headache? Dehydration, right? So, let's say you have a headache. Do you want a pill focused on dehydration or getting rid of your headache? Why do you think Advil and all these companies make all this money? Because they focus on the symptom and the transformation. Get rid of the headache. Okay, don't worry. We're going to do more of this, guys. Here's a fun one. People get stuck in this, right? Because then they put the niche back in identity. What should I call myself? You don't have to call yourself anything. It's so hard. And what if it were so easy? All of this can be easy. We choose to make it hard, even if you don't believe me. What should I call myself? Probably your name. I don't give myself a fancy name. You don't have to give yourself a fancy name. You can really be as simple as say, hi, my name is James Woodward. I help online entrepreneurs make more money with their digital products, right? You don't need to be the queen of this, the king of that, the Mr. this, the Mrs. that. You can if you want, but those things tend to really mess people up. Like they stall on that. So I don't want you guys worrying about that. Unless it comes to you and you're like, oh, I really like this. Okay. But they don't really care about what you call yourself. They just care about what you can do for them. Don't ever forget that. When you just get really connected to what do they want? What do they need? What are they already asking for? You just be that person for somebody. Okay. So I'd also really like you to avoid these terms. You don't have to if it works for you. If everyone's like, yes, I was just looking for a life coach, right? But how many life coaches are out there? And right now they're becoming mindset coaches. So everywhere I look, all these people I see just keep calling themselves mindset coach. So even if you're like, no, that's niched enough for me, that's what a lot of other people are coming out and calling themselves these three terms. And so, yeah, another one is a transformation coach. And so you got to be really careful because number one, these are all speaking to the process. Life is a process, right? So it's not speaking to any solution. It's not speaking to what the problem is that you solve. Confidence, anyone in this room can have 10 times the confidence right now in this moment. So, and honestly, I'm not even a fan of people calling themselves a coach, but you get to do what you want there, but I don't call myself a coach. We don't need to have a label. I think coach is where you start putting yourself into a box. You can be all kinds of things. You can be infinite potential, and then one of the things you do is you solve this problem, I solve that problem, and I solve this problem. Is expert better? I mean, we want to convey expertise and not communicate it. Hi, I'm an expert. In other words, or another way to say it is like what I used to say to people is say, I'm known by most in the industry as the go-to YouTube ranking expert, right? So instead of saying, hi, I'm an expert in blah, 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 most people don't believe you when you just say I'm an expert. Now Bobby, yeah, that's a great thing. He's an email guy. He's like, look, people keep calling me on the email guy. They keep getting on my list because they keep seeing these great emails that I write that keeps people engaged. And today I teach people how they can make more sales from their inbox, right? But to just say I'm the blank expert, people don't necessarily just take that at face value. If I just said I'm the coolest person in the world, people don't, oh, okay, well, I mean, if you said it, it must be true. Okay. So I'd just be mindful for that. Like, you look at 90% of the big names and people you follow. I noticed that a long time ago. They don't really call themselves a coach. It's more just focus on on the problem they solve for people, the transformation they make available. Okay. And I just see a lot of mindset coaches popping up everywhere. And I just don't want you guys, because you guys are in my little world now, I just don't want you guys blurring into that. It's going to become vanilla. Okay. It's going to become average, just like life coach became average. Like people, that term has a lot of a lot of people just make fun of those words. I don't know if you knew that. But like a lot of people just like, oh, a 24-year-old life coach who doesn't even know what they're doing with their life is all of a sudden going to teach, like that's the connotation people have with things like life coach. Now, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not talking about my personal opinions. I'm talking about the general populace. Coaching is, oh my goodness, one of the most valuable, powerful things that we can do. Great coaching is the difference that makes the difference, right? So is mentoring. So is the right framework. So is the right teaching. It's all of it. And you're a coach and a mentor and an example of what's possible. You're a guide. You're an advisor. You're all those things to me. And you focus on one specific problem that you solve for one specific person. So, take it for what it's worth. Also, I really want us to avoid broad terms. I've learned these things the wrong way. The long way, I mean. I help people get unstuck. I'm an unstuck coach. I'm an overwhelmed coach. Things like stuck, but James, I did a survey and all my students say they're stuck. Well, anyone who's in a problem is stuck. So let's do the pill test. Serious question. You could take a pill and it's going to get you unstuck or automatically give you $100,000 a month. Which one do you take, right? James, I'm stuck. Well, what are you stuck with? I don't know my niche. Well, would you like a pill to get unstuck or a pill that will automatically tell you what your niche is? See? Does that make sense, guys? Everything you do, you are in the business of solving problems. So everyone who's in a problem is stuck. If they weren't stuck, they wouldn't be in the problem anymore. So you got to really be careful with these words that people give you. So it's really broad. So someone tells you, Gretchen or Kristen, I'm stuck. You want to say, what specifically are you stuck with? What about overcoming fears in business? That's the process, believe it or not. Watch this. Anybody who has fears in business, take a pill. Would you rather take a pill that would get rid of your fears in business or a pill that automatically gives you $100,000 a month? You can only have one. The only reason people want to overcome their fears is so they can get to the money and the sales. So the transformation I'll just tell you guys straight up. If you teach business owners anything, if you help business owners or entrepreneurs in any way, they only care about two things. What are those two things? Bingo, bango, bongo, bobby. Leads and sales. It's leads and sales. If you're not helping, the transformation doesn't relate to more audience or more money, they will not give you money for it. And yes, profit is an extension of it. So what people try and do is they do these offshoot things that is like, that's great, but I'm not like, how to be more productive. But until that person can say, that's going to help me make more money, they're not interested, right? Okay, so here's an even simpler thing, and this is something you guys can do at any time when you start to feel like you have something, okay? You guys have been hanging out with me for so long. Rocking and rolling. If you're a blank, a specific type of person that they identify with, please don't use ambitious entrepreneur because they already know that. But if you're a entrepreneur or a whatever that sells this or does this, something that they identify with, not as an adjective or an opinion, but as a label. Struggling with a very specific symptom, I can help. You guys could do this. You could do this now while I'm hanging out with you, while we're chilling, like a villain. You could do that. You could do a story right now. You say, hey, I'm hanging out here doing a training, and one of the things that I see a lot of my followers struggling with is XYZ. And if that's you, if you're somebody who's also struggling with this, I just want you to know that this is something I used to struggle with. And today I help people with that, and I'd love to help you. So if you'd like to chat more about this, just hit me up, send me a DM. The world's got to start knowing what it is that you do. They're going to start knowing how you help people. And that's when you'll start building your list. That's when you'll start building your audience. My list went from 200,000, dropped down to 30, and went back up. It dropped down because I was focused on one thing. This is how I help you make YouTube videos. Okay? And I attracted people who wanted to learn about YouTube videos. Then I started doing something else. Those people left. They wouldn't keep following me because they didn't want to learn the other things. Okay? So this is a challenge, a homework, a fun assignment I hope you guys will take on and do it. Powerful choices, still going to be really broad. What kind of powerful choices? I don't think most business owners are going to be saying, I just need someone to help me make powerful choices. It's going to be something specific. Like, I'm struggling to decide who's the best hire right now. Any platform you want, Brenda, wherever you feel like there are people you can start to connect with. You have your own Facebook group, Facebook page, personal profile, Instagram stories, maybe Facebook Live. Oh, great. Okay, Courtney. So by the way, all your examples really help to create more content. So like Courtney says, if you're a busy mom who lost her fire, I can help. This is going to challenge people a lot because what we tend to do is we're very creative. We speak in metaphors. Fire is a metaphor. And I'm going to encourage you, Courtney, to write that again without a metaphor. Because when it's a metaphor, in this example, it's going to be misinterpreted. What does that mean? Lost your fire. Like your fireplace? Like the house is on fire, the fire pit, right? I know it sounds silly, but a lot of times people use these very creative, metaphorical language. And what grade level do we want to keep all of our language? Anybody? 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 4th grade. That's it. 4th grade. I mean, I'll allow 3rd grade. 4th grade, right? We didn't really do metaphors in the 4th grade. We were still like pretty literal. Yeah, 12 years old, 10 years old, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12. It was around that age. So you want to look at what you're coming up with and say, is this specific? Is it clear? Could a 4th grader really understand what it is you're doing? If they knew your niche, you know? I'm just kind of reading a few of these. It's really great, guys. Yeah, these are looking really great. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. So I went over the mega markets. We did this. So I'm going to help with a few things here. Let's do a little bit more focusing. You guys are doing great. I know this is intense. I know this is long, but I also know that if I can do it and keep up with all this, you guys can stay present with me. Yes? Yes. Okay. So who you help specifically, right? Like I said, I've said now many times, I told you I'd be repeating myself. People want to know and feel like this was made specifically for them. So I gave the example already, business owners, what type of business, relationship, what phase in a relationship, right? There's certain ways that we want to get specific. Fitness, it could be age range, it could be health goals, it could be stage in life, which I guess similar to age range, but like stage in life could be like getting married after the baby, and that's not necessarily age range. It has to be relevant, right? So like we talked about Coach Tulin at the beginning, she crushes it, and her niche, she focuses on weight loss for plus size women who want to modify their workouts. It's a problem on top of a problem. The problem is I want to lose weight, but then there's another problem, which is I can't do the exercises that these, skinny models are doing because I'm not there yet. So she creates modified exercises for plus size women. It's amazing. It is. It's a great niche. That's Coach Tulin. I'll be following her. She's awesome. I love her. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about this because I've kind of been touching upon this. This is so important. A lot of these who pieces that we get specific on are totally superfluous. You want to get specific with this when the content would be different for them versus somebody else. So would a course weight loss for plus size women be very different content than lose the unwanted 10 pounds before your wedding day? Would that be the exact same content, or would that be different? What do you guys think? Yeah, it's different, right? So if you help, okay, here's an example. If you help people buy their first home, right? Let's say it's a first-time home buyer's guide. Does it really matter? Does it really matter if it's I help women buy their first home, or I help men buy their first home? I help single people buy their first home. I mean, maybe married versus single, because there might be some more like different legal stuff of how you would structure it. But does it really matter if you teach women how to buy their first home versus men how to buy their first home? To me, I say no. If I taught people how to buy their first home, I wouldn't really care age, sex, race, religion. Like, why would that matter, right? Location might matter, like what country, you know, I don't know. But there's a lot of superfluous, like it's irrelevant. It doesn't change the content. I don't think the course would be any different, but your energy will attract certain type of people. Listen, what percentage do you think my audience is female? Anyone want to take a guess here? Tiffany knows. Yeah, it's over 70% of my audience is female. Has anyone ever seen me ever say, I help female entrepreneurs make more money? No. It's just my energy and the conversations I have, the content, the people I attract. And that's what we're going to get into. Like with Avatar is a little different. I don't need to say that. I just need to say like, but when I start talking, look at the difference here, because this is so important. If I start talking about how to step into your purpose, and align your purpose and your mission so you can make more money and help more people, is that a very masculine term, or is it more of a feminine energy term? Right? If I started to say things like, you want to learn how to hack your funnel so you can extract more money from your clients, is that more masculine or more feminine? Right? Yeah, exactly. So you don't need to say those things. I help women ages 32 to 34 who live in these states and have 2.5 kids. You know, that's your avatar, and that helps you to write some copy, but people are going to be attracted to your message, and you know, that's what's going to bring that type of person to you. I really hope that makes sense for you guys. So we want to notice, like, for example, people have been saying like, I help the ambitious entrepreneur. I help the driven entrepreneur. Is your content really going to change if it's for driven entrepreneurs or ambitious entrepreneurs? Is you, I changed my niche. What'd you change it from? Well, it used to be for driven entrepreneurs. Now it's ambitious entrepreneurs. I got to redo the whole course. I got 2 people that said no sound. You guys still hear me? Maybe okay. Got a glitch. Okay, did you guys get that? What I said, I'll just say it again, right? I changed niches. What was your niche? Oh, before I focused on ambitious entrepreneurs. Now I focus on driven entrepreneurs. I guess I got to redo my course, right? You don't need to redo your program for that. But if I did a YouTube course, and then I said YouTube for real estate agents, wouldn't that be a different program? It's a good niche, by the way. Versus online experts? Yeah, it would be a different program. It'd be a different course. So you really, really want to look at that. Oh, there you go. Teaching YouTube for actors is different versus teaching it to course creators. Yeah, great example, James. Thank you. Teaching YouTube to mompreneurs isn't any different than teaching it to non-mom entrepreneurs. The strategy of YouTube is not going to be any different whether someone has 0 kids, 1 kid, or 8 kids. Ocho. Okay? You could argue, but it's not enough. So I only help moms build their YouTube channel. Well, why only moms? What if someone's like, but I don't, you know, I'm pregnant, but I don't have a kid yet. Does that count? You know, like, it's irrelevant. Okay. Yeah, and then like if you're teaching business, the age doesn't really matter, because so much of what we teach with business and marketing are timeless principles. You're just going to attract the people you're going to attract. Like Catherine Zenkina, a good friend of mine, a lot of people are here from her. She attracts, what do you think her demographic is? She attracts younger female. You know, it's like around her age, right? Babes. She attracts the babes. Yeah. And I attract, normally, I think, I would say 35 to 44 age range female, right? But we're not going around saying, if you're 35 to 44, okay? Yeah, and older, of course, 48, Ella, thank you. So I hope that helps. I want to ask you some questions, and I just want you guys to just keep writing. I know this is messy. I know it's a lot. Some of you are getting tired. You're overwhelmed. I understand it. I get it. But we're going to keep going. So if we're looking at who specifically, that's a good question to ask. Thanks, Ella. Who would gain the most from what I have? Who do you want to work with the most? Who do you love working with? Like, I didn't like working with real estate agents. I really didn't. So I wasn't going to keep teaching them stuff. I was not a fan of working with. Well, Katie says, I'm obsessed with working with women who have limiting beliefs. We all have limiting beliefs. You know, unless you're like enlightened and floating 3 feet off the ground, you have limiting beliefs. I do too. We all have blockages around certain things. Yeah. So that's where you want to see if you get specific. Like, what type of limiting beliefs do you love working with? Limiting beliefs around love and the relationships, around beauty, self-image, limiting beliefs around money, around business, putting yourself out there, weight loss. I mean, look at that. Now we're getting specific. Right, who do you love working with? Is Bobby causing trouble again? How fast do you know if you don't like working with a group, and how do you know if it's your own fear? Well, I don't know. How do you know if it's your fear? Like if I go try a buffet food and I go, oh, have you tried this food? No. And I eat it. I'll know if I don't like it, and I'm not afraid of it. For me, it was a very different experience of like, I am not enjoying this versus I'm afraid. And some of you guys, this is very important because some of you guys are saying things, and I totally understand why you're answering this way. Of like, you're describing the qualities of like, yeah, I love people that are willing to do the work, that are committed and responsible. I'm going to tell you this right now. Please hear this. When you are committed, when you are responsible, when you do the work, guess who you're going to attract? Exactly. You're going to attract those same type of people. I attract people that are focused and committed to their own personal growth, that are serious about business. They are serious about helping people. They have big hearts and big visions. Guess what? I have the same thing. It's not a quinky dink, right? So I know we have all these qualities, but you know, to me, it's more like I love working with, like if we were to use the entrepreneur one, because obviously that's my niche right now. I love working with entrepreneurs that are just getting started versus I love working with an entrepreneur that's ready to scale to 7 figures. That's a very different person. And you can be committed and awesome and open and hardworking at each stage, can't you? Yes, you can. Yes, Marissa. I attract people who stay on like 20-hour calls. I know. Here's another great question. Who's going to pay the most money? These are really good questions to just be asking as we get down to who specifically. And you really want to start to say, is it easy to find these people? So who feels like, go ahead and type it in the chat box if you feel like you've got a very specific who right now. And I'm going to read through a few of these really quickly. Tiffany, great one. Stay-at-home moms who are ready to start a new career. Professionals who want to improve their soft skills. I don't remember what soft skills are, but I love it. Great. Diana, highly sensitive people and empaths. Yes, that is a niche. Beautiful. Yeah, and Barbara, with the fear of abandonment one, maybe you could play around, see how it feels to get more specific of abandonment from what or whom. That might offer more specificity because believe it or not, for someone who doesn't, they might be going in a whole different direction. Like abandonment of what? Like, so see if you can throw some more specificity in there. Yeah, Jess, I help empaths is very specific. It's great. Yeah, people who want to eat healthy and are overwhelmed, where to start. I actually really like that. Believe it or not, it may not seem specific, but like it is. You know, someone who wants to start eating healthy, but they don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed with where to start, but that's what they want. Amanda, women who are ready to make a big life change, but they don't know where to start. You still have room for some specificity here. What kind of changes? Big changes in their relationship, in their marriage, their career, you know, finances, all that stuff. You will benefit yourself if you get more specific. I promise you that. Ooh, Todd, seasoned actors that want to go to the next level. Seasoned actors, yes. Now get specific on how will they know? Notice I'm going to keep asking you guys the same questions until you keep doing it yourself. How will they know when they're at the next level? That will help you a lot. Cindy, great question. If you want to work with young adults, if it's anyone like really under 18, it's the parents. Jess, online coaches and course creators, boom. Create and scale their signature offer, done and done. Molly, belly dancers. Yes, I love it. Belly dancers who want to build their own at-home practice. How to get paid to teach others how to belly dance from home. That's amazing. I love it. 9 to 5 mamas building a side business. Alyssa, it's going to also help you to tell them what type of business. Is it an Amazon business? Is it a course business? What is it, right? Tamara, spiritually broken. This will help. Do people go around? Does your audience go around? You might be saying yes, but I'm going to guess it's a no and say, hi, I'm James. I'm spiritually broken. Maybe, maybe not. I think that's more the problem that you help with. But see if there's like a who specifically. How do they label themselves? I don't know, but it's worth asking. Okay. Okay. Yeah, people who hate their home. So, yeah, I mean, and maybe they don't hate their home, but they, you know, anyone, and that's the thing, guys, I really want to stress this, that some of it's going to be really specific in some areas and a little broad in others. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as there's some specificities there. So I help homeowners. So this is very important. So Ashley, I'm assuming this is around like a feng shui thing, right? So I help, you know, any home dweller really. I help people shift the energy in their home so that it feels good. You know, I help newbie feng shui people shift the energy. Does it matter? It's most likely going to resonate more with women, although I love feng shui. But does it matter if they're married or single? Not really. Does it matter how old they are? Not really. Does it matter if it's a home or an apartment? Does it matter? Not really, right? So the specificity is moving things in your home, changing things in your home to change the energy, so it'll feel good. I don't know if it was feng shui. I'm just assuming. So, you could have another process, but that's great. Yeah, young men living paycheck to paycheck. Shannon said unconscious empaths, and I want to be careful there because no one's going to label themselves unconscious. Does anyone here think they're unconscious? Right? So empath, yes. Unconscious, no. Okay, we'll do a few more of these. This is really good. Young women figuring what they want to be when they grow up. Yeah. And I love this, Marissa. Female artists who want to sell their art online. So Jessica says, I could help all entrepreneurs write a book or niche it down to online coaches. I'm in that I help people who help people space at the moment. Yeah, that's fine. Where the real specificity is going to be about writing the book. And it could be, instead of entrepreneurs, maybe you could do coaches. It's just like, it's so great because you don't even need to go there. You can just say, I help create your first book so you can get more authority and exposure to build your brand. You know what I mean? If you're an entrepreneur that knows that having a book will increase your authority, your expertise, and help get you more clients, I can help. Okay. Young women who grew up without their father. Not semi-pro football players that want to play at a higher standard. Very specific. Joanne, overwhelmed midlife women, and then we want to really talk about the problem. The problem isn't overwhelmed. It's more specific. So what specifically are they overwhelmed by? It's really good, guys. You're doing great. Maja says 9-to-5ers who know there's more to life. But what's the transformation? Is it their own business? Is it retiring? It can be so many things. There's still so much room for some niching down here. Specificity. Oh yeah, women who want to practice intuitive eating. That's a great niche. Yeah, Katie says, and here's my thought on this, Katie. Katie says, spiritual women who struggle with self-image and want to crush limiting beliefs through manifestation. You don't need to say spiritual women, because first of all, we're all spiritual, right? You can if you want, but I'll tell you this, anytime you're going to talk to someone about who want to use manifestation, they're already going to resonate with that. So you'll already be attracting, in other words, if you say, I help women manifest more in their life by crushing limiting beliefs that are holding them back, you're not going to attract someone that's like, oh, I'm not spiritual. You know what I mean? So the real point in yours is really dialing down on that specific problem you solve and that specific outcome. But that's up, it's up to you. If you're like, no, I still like saying that. It's one of those that's really, the moment you start talking about manifestation, people that call themselves spiritual are going to raise their hand. Okay, Olga's got a good one, and I just want to simplify it. People have spent their lives disconnecting from their needs by putting others first and are ready to invest in themselves. This is great, Olga, and I love it, and it's so needed, and I want you to see if you can make it more simple. Instead of living disconnected from their needs, it's more like have put themselves last or have focused on others' needs instead of their own. I help women who have put themselves last in service of their family's needs, who are finally ready to put themselves first. Just any way that you can make it a little bit more 4th grade level. It's really good. Women who lose themselves in relationships. That's really good. And I wonder if you can even get more specific with that. Because when we're really talking about losing ourselves in relationships, we're really talking about codependency. when we're in codependent relationship, we lose ourselves. We forget what matters to us, and we choose our partner's interests and stuff. And you could even speak specifically to that. You know, how to eliminate